starting lineup for your Xenia Scouts. Leading off and playing in right field tonight, number 12, Carson Wright. Batting second and playing in center field, number 18, Chandler Chambers. Batting third and playing in the designated hitter role, number 31, Ryan Bertelsmann. Batting fourth and playing at the catcher position, number 6, Connor Regan. Batting fifth and playing in left field tonight, number 17, Luke Boylston. Batting sixth and playing at first base for your Scouts this evening, number 25, Jarrett Lindsay. Batting seventh and playing at third base, number 15, Dugan Darnell. Batting eighth and playing at second base, number 9, Nick Tuttle. And batting ninth for your Xenia Scouts, the shortstop, number 11, Noah Orlando. And on the mound for the Scouts this evening, the right-hander, number 22, Caleb Eater. And now, ladies and gentlemen, we ask that you please stand and remove your caps as we honor this great nation of ours, the United States of America, with the playing of our national anthem. Play ball!
Anthems are done, team is on the field, and we are just about ready for Licking County Settlers baseball action. Hello everybody, Ben Murray broadcasting live from Grady's Field in Xenia, Ohio, as the Licking County Settlers, the 2-6 Licking County Settlers, get ready to square off with the 4-4 Xenia Scouts. Settlers line up today. It'll be Dylan Ott leading off and playing left field. Sam Wilson in the number 2 hole playing second base. Miguel Pimentel batting third, playing third. Cleaning up will be Garrett Roberts over at first base. Turner Hill will be in right field and batting fifth. Batting sixth will be Austin White in center field. The designated hitter Nathan Dill will be batting seventh. Behind the plate today is Chad Harper hitting eighth and ninth for the Settlers. And playing short will be Kaz Sobozic. On the hill for today is going to be Caleb Eater for the Scouts. His defensive alignment behind him will be Boylston, Chambers, and Wright going from left to right in the outfield. Around the horn, first to third, Lindsey, Tuttle, Orlando, Darnell, and Regan behind the plate. Settlers today coming off a 14-9 loss the other night against the Southern Ohio Copperheads, where they saw an offense put up 16 hits, but still came out with the loss in that one. It was a tough outing for the pitching staff. They gave up 11 walks, 5 errors by the defense, as well as Dylan Ott steps into the plate for the first pitch today from Xenia, Ohio. And the first pitch from Eater taken for a strike by Ott. Official start time will be 7:06 Eastern Standard Time. Eder comes into this one 1-0, has a 5.78 ERA as Ott flares that one into left field. It's Boylston coming on. He'll settle under it and retire Dylan Ott for the first out here in this ball game. Eder 1-0, 5.78 ERA. He started 2 games, thrown at 9 1/3 innings, giving up 10 runs, 13 hits, 3 strikeouts, and 7 walks for the Indiana Wesleyan product. That'll bring up Sam Wilson to the plate now. Sam, 7 for his last 10. He's swinging one of the hottest bats on this Settler lineup and probably one of the hottest bats in the entire league. As he's first pitch swinging, that's popped up straight up into the infield. It's going to be Darnell settling under it, and very quickly we have 2 outs here in this top of the first inning. So Ott goes down on 2 pitches. Wilson swinging on his first pitch, and Eder's thrown 3 pitches through 2 hitters, as that'll bring up the third baseman, Miguel Pimentel. Pimentel started out as one of the hottest hitters on this Licking County Settler roster, but has cooled off as of late. He's 2 for his last 10. Licking County donning their all-gray uniforms. Red numbers, red scripted Settlers. Right across the top, Pimentel. He's first pitch swinging, hits that into the gap over the right fielder's head in right, but right in the right spot as he settles under that one. And Eder gets out of the first inning, throwing only 4 pitches. As we head to the bottom of the first inning, no score here from Xenia, Ohio.
Number 12, Carson Wright.
Back in Xenia, Ohio, bottom of the first inning, Settlers went down 1-2-3 on 4 pitches. As we head to Xenia's half of the first, they're going to bring up Carson Wright, the right fielder, batting leadoff. Batting second will be the center fielder, Chandler Chambers. Batting third, the designated hitter, Ryan Bertelsman. Cleaning up will be the catcher, Connor Regan. Luke Boylston will be in left field, batting fifth. Jarrett Lindsay at first, batting sixth. Batting seventh, the third baseman, Dugan Darnell. Batting eighth, the second baseman, Nicholas Tuttle. And last in the order will be the shortstop, Noah Orlando. As the Settlers line up outfield left to right, Ott, Wilson, and Hill around the horn. Roberts, Wilson, Sobozic, Pimentel, Harper behind the plate as Luke Torbert throws his first pitch of the game to Carson Wright for a strike. Torbert on the year has only one appearance. If you remember, he was part of that rain delay against the Lake Erie Monarchs through a 1-2-3 top of the first and did not come back out for the second as this pitch popped up in the infield. Pimentel settles under it, and he retires Carson Wright for out number one. So first two hitters for each team see two pitches and are retired. So that'll bring up Chandler Chambers back to Torbert. He was part of that Lake Erie Monarchs series, was throwing game number one. We had about that 2.5-hour rain delay or so, and Torbert did not go back out. Head coach Charlie Poole elected not to throw him following the rain delay. So Torbert, not a lot of appearances yet for the Settlers as Chambers bunts that right back to Torbert. He scoops and fires over to Roberts at first base for out number two. So two hitters retired on three pitches on the 1-3 ground out. That'll bring up the designated hitter, Rylan Bertelsman. Bertelsman, one of the best hitters on this Scouts team, hitting .407 this year .448 on base percentage, has 11 hits, 4 RBIs, 2 walks, and 2 strikeouts. First pitch from Torbert. Catches the outside corner for a strike, so throwing a lot of strikes right now for Torbert. Second pitch. Misses outside for a ball, evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. If you remember, our last game against Southern Ohio, Settler pitching staff, 11 walks. That would prove costly as that pitch flared down the right side, moves the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. 7 of those walks would come around to score, part of a 14-run outburst for the Copperheads. Settlers did out-hit them for the second time this year, but fall to 0-2 against Copperheads as curveball catches for a strike. So 4 pitches to Bertelsmann, 7 pitches on the inning, and Torbert has retired the side. 1, 2, 3 will head to the second. No score.
Shawnee Hills Baptist Church is located at 3490 Jasper Road in Jamestown. They are a full-service church with programs and ministries for all ages. The Sunday morning includes Sunday school with adult Bible fellowship classes at 9 and a worship service at 10:30. They have men's and women's ministries, teen and children's ministries, and a small group ministry. Their website is www.shbcfamily.com. Family Life Groups meets on Sunday evenings at 6 at 9 different home sites, June through August. Dave Ramsey's Financial Peace University is offered September through November on Sunday evenings at 6.
Two up in the top of the second for the Settlers will be Roberts, Hill, and White, the 4, 5, 6 hitters, as the first 3 Settler hitters were retired in order in that top of the first inning. Very muggy day here in Xenia, Ohio. Some rain maybe in the forecast. There was some rain on the way down today, but first pitch into Roberts taken for a strike, but nothing so far. We've been very accustomed to rain during most of the games, whether it be a delay and whether it be a cancellation, but always a little bit of precipitation in the forecast no matter what, as Roberts cuts through that one and misses. Down to the count now. No balls and 2 strikes to starting pitcher Caleb Eder. 0-2. Swung on, grounded right back to Eder as he picks up, flips over to first base to Lindsay, and retires Roberts. So a very easy first hitter for Eder, as that'll bring up the right fielder Turner Hill. Turner this year batting .368. He's come on as of late, gotten pretty hot, had a big double in that last game against the Copperheads. Scored 2 times in that game as well. His first pitch coming in from Eder, misses the outside corner for a ball. So 1 ball and no strikes to the right fielder from Marietta, Ohio. Turner standing in that batter's box, 5'11", 168. As that pitch grounded to the second baseman and totally ranges to his right. Fires Lindsay at first base and retires Hill. So 5 up and 5 down are the Settlers so far. Austin White will come to the batter's box now. Austin getting his 2nd consecutive start in center field, was bitten by the injury bug a bit to start off the season, but he's feeling a little bit better. Says he's not 100%, but he said he's good enough to give it a go and play center field for the Settlers. So White still looking for his first hit. Had an RBI in the last game. It was on a fielder's choice in that first inning. Settlers got out to a 1-0 lead as White squares the bunt. That pitch misses on the inner half for a ball. Settlers were up 1-0, but that was the last lead they would have. They were down 10-2 at one point, but did battle their way back. They stayed in it, but weren't able to mash out enough hits as that pitch evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. White plays his collegiate baseball at Fresno State. Didn't see a whole lot of action this year for the Bulldogs. Only appeared in 13 games. That pitch line to the second baseman, Tuttle right under his glove. and he'll get on first base with, I believe, will be an error on the second baseman. We'll have to get the official scoring from the Xenia staff here, but we'll get that to you as soon as we can. Looks like that is going to go down as an error via the scoreboard. So mark that up as an E4 for Austin White. Nevertheless, he's on first base, and that brings up Nathan Dill, the designated hitter. Dill's first pitch, he takes off speed for a strike. So either throwing lots of strikes here early on. This Xenia pitching staff, the worst in the league as far as ERA. They have a team ERA up around 8. 8.74 to be exact, as that pitch misses. Tries to pick off White at first, not in time. That'll even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. The Xenia pitching staff struggling, allowing hitters to hit 327 as Dill fouls that one straight back, moves the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Still 4-4 record on the year, however. Xenia right in the middle of the pack. 4th place in the South Division. Settlers tied for last with the Hamilton Joes at 2-6. You see the pitching staff worse in the league, but they're 4-4, so they found a way to still squeak wins out as that pitch fouled back. Might have caught a piece of the catcher, Regan. That'll keep the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes. Xenia going with their blue tops. Blue numbers with white outlines and white pants. A blue hat with gray in the front. Their Scout logo on top of that. The 1-2 misses high for a ball. That'll even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Austin White does have a stolen base this season, so always be on the lookout for him. A 2-2 count here might be a favorable count. The 2-2 runner does go. Hits Dill square in the back. I believe that got him right between the 3 and the 6 on his back. So that'll put 2 runners aboard here for the Settlers here in the top of the 2nd inning. There are 2 outs, however. That'll bring up the catcher, Chad Harper. Chad batting in the 8 hole today. Of course, from West Liberty University. Harper still only 1 hit on this season, batting 111. 111 on base percentage. So Chad up in a big spot here. This Settler team tries to get out early. Here comes set. Swung on and missed. First pitch to Harper. Harper started the last game but was taken out in one of the middle innings for Cale Baker. Baker later on was ejected, so Baker got a 1-game suspension. That leaves Harper, the only catcher right now on the roster. So looks like he might have fouled that off his foot, but goes down that 3rd base line. So that moves the count to no balls and 2 strikes. So Harper is all the Settlers have. Garrett Roberts came in for Baker after the ejection and played pretty well. Got word that he had not caught since he was about 14 years old. So it's been a little bit. That pitch misses high for a ball. Count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Roberts doing a good job as the emergency catcher. Adam Mays also has some catching experience, but he could not come in that game as he had already pitched and been relieved for. So Roberts maybe the 3rd or 4th string catcher moving up in that rotation today if anything were to happen to Harper. The 1-2. Swung on, shot right back up the middle. Chambers coming on. He'll let it bounce. White is around 3rd, and Chad Harper knocks in Austin White with the RBI 2-out single, and Licking County strikes first here in the top of the 2nd inning. They lead 1-0 and have runners on 1st and 2nd here. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Kaz Sobozic. Sobozic getting the start at shortstop today for Eddie Pena. Eddie getting a day off. Sobozic batting 150, 308 on base percentage, and he's in a big spot here with runners at 1st and 2nd and 2 away. First pitch Swung on, flare into left field. Boylston coming on, but Orlando will make the running catch. Great play by Noah Orlando over his left shoulder, running into shallow left field. And that might have scored another one had that ball fallen. But Settlers get on the board. They head to the bottom of the second. Settlers lead 1-0.
Within 8 miles, our staff will sound one long blast on an air horn. Activity will cease at that time until we have determined if it is safe and the risk of lightning strike is diminished. If there is a lightning delay, we ask that you evacuate the field and bleachers and seek appropriate shelter in the following areas: your closed vehicle or team bus van. Safe return to activity will be announced by 2 blasts of the air horn. Please see a member of the sports complex and retreat center if you have any questions regarding this announcement. Thank you for your cooperation.
On the second inning from Grady's Field, it'll be the 4, 5, 6 hitters in Regan, Boylston, and Lindsay to face Luke Torbert for the Scouts. Settlers lead this one 1-0. They scored 1 run on 1 hit. There was an error on the second baseman, Tuttle, and left 2 aboard, all coming with 2 outs. So a good 2-out approach for the Settlers has them up in this ball game 1-0. That'll bring up the right-hitting catcher, Connor Regan, as he fouls that pitch off down that third base side for strike number 1. Torbert had no issues in the first inning as he got out of the first in 3 hitters, only threw 7 pitches. The second pitch into Regan, curveball misses high, evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. One misses high. That'll move the count to 2 balls and 1 strike. Regan from Sagamore Hills, Ohio, batting .273. The .385 on base percentage. The 2-1 from Torbert. Misses low. Gets past Harper. That'll move the count to 3 balls and 1 strike. Very muggy and humid day out here. Had an announcement about lightning delay procedure, so there, of course, is some weather in the area. We'll keep you updated if anything happens here on the field. 3-1 catches the inside corner for a strike. Regan disagreed with that one. He started to head down the first base line, but was called back by the home plate umpire. So count moves to full here to Connor Regan as time is called. We'll reset and prepare for the 3-2. Torbert shakes off the sign, gets the one he likes, and delivers. Ball chopped down the third base line to Pimentel, but will be foul. So we'll do the 3-2 over again one more time. Wind up in 3-2. Taken just low for a ball. Looked like it might have caught that lower part of the zone, but was called ball number 4. So Regan with the leadoff walk. That'll bring up Luke Boylston, the left fielder. Boylston this season batting .235. Has 4 hits, 1 of those for extra bases, has an RBI, 8 strikeouts and 2 walks. First pitch from Torbert, fouled straight back. As Torbert gets in the head ahead in the count once again. Torbert made 14 appearances at Kennesaw State University, had a 6.23 ERA in his freshman season. 0-1 inside, nearly hit Boylston, but was able to narrowly evade that one and even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Torbert had retired the first 6 hitters he had seen. His first appearance only threw an inning, and then we had a little bit of a rain delay, so Coach Poole elected not to put him back out there and retired the first 3 in this one, too, as that curveball just misses inside for a ball, 2-1 count. Now to left fielder Boylston. But this inning started off with a walk. We've seen the walk come back to haunt the Settlers as of late. 11 walks in the last game against the Copperheads. That pitch, bat goes flying down into the third base dugout off the swing from Boylston. He has batting gloves, like we said, very humid day out here, so maybe just a little bit of moisture on those batting gloves. Needs a little bit more pine tar on that bat to give hold as his teammates toss him a stick of pine tar. He rubs it on the handle, trying to get a little bit better grip, but Luke Torbert evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Going back to the Settler pitching staff, they've been allowing just about 7 walks per game, so not an ideal number. Want to get that down probably in the 4 range as that pitch popped up to the left side. Ott giving chase in foul ground. A lot of foul ground over there as that'll bounce over the fence and out of play. So we'll do the 2-2 one more time. Here between Torbert and Boylston. Regan over on first base, nobody out here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. Settlers lead 1-0. They had an RBI 2-out single from Chad Harper in the top half to score the first run today and take the lead here in this Great Lakes Collegiate Summer League action. The 2-2. Swung on the line into the right center gap. That might get to the wall, but Turner Hill cuts it off. Regan into third. Hill's throw in to Sobozic, and that'll be a double for Boylston. That'll put runners at 2nd and 3rd here with nobody away. So after an easy first inning, Torbert now finds himself in a bit of a jam as the Scouts have 2 men aboard and nobody out here in the bottom of the 2nd inning. That'll bring up Jarrett Lindsay, the first baseman. Lindsay on the year batting .333. He's got 4 hits. .333 on base percentage as well. Is a sophomore from Point Loma Nazarene University from Upland, California. Sees the first pitch from Torbert. Misses high and inside for ball number 1. So after a 7-pitch first inning, Torbert laboring a little bit here in this 2nd inning. We've seen that a few times from Settler starting pitchers. They'll have a solid first inning, but the 2nd inning gives them trouble a little bit with the control. So that pitch misses outside for a ball. Count goes to 2 balls and no strikes. Scouts as a team averaging just over 7 runs per game. They get about 9 hits per game, so very potent offense. Part of the reason they're 4-4 as that pitch misses high and inside again. Torbert in danger of walking his 2nd scout of this inning as he goes 3-0 to the first baseman, Lindsay. Torbert comes set, gets his sign, and delivers the 3-0. Right down the middle for strike number 1 as it looked like Lindsay was taking all the way. Scouts threatening here. Runners on 2nd and 3rd. Nobody out. Trying to tie this ball game up at 1 after the Settlers scored in their top half of the first. 3-1. Grounded to the right side, but foul. So after getting down in the count, 3-0, Torbert able to battle his way back and throw 2 consecutive strikes. And now runs this count full. So big pitch coming up here from Torbert. So he tries to get himself out of a jam here in the bottom of the second. Three-two. Misses inside, ball four. So after getting down 3-0, battle back to move it full, but the second walk of this inning will load the bases, and we'll get a mound visit from pitching coach Michael Sandman. Sandman been on this staff for a couple years, working as the pitching coach. Pitched at Ball State for a little bit, so he knows a thing or two about pitching as he talks to his catcher Harper and pitcher Torbert. Xenia coming in this game on a 3-game winning streak. They've scored 9 runs per game in that span, so they're no stranger to putting up big numbers at the plate here. As we said, they had to kind of combat with their pitching staff, one of the worst in the league as far as ERA. So when you have troubles like that, you got to find ways to get runs in. Corners in for the Settlers. First pitch to the hitter Dugan Darnell. The third baseman is going to be taken outside for a ball. Darnell from Northville, Michigan, goes to Adrian College. Sitting just under 100 for this season. So Torbert would love nothing more than a double play ball. That pitch flared to the left side. Going to get foul. Ott gives chase, but pulls up as he could not reach that one. Going to even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Corners in for the Settlers. Infield, middle infield at double play depth. Outfield looks straight up. This field, fence-wise, they don't have any markings as how far the fences are, but looks to be about average to what the Settlers usually play. That pitch swung on and missed. Torbert had to get in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes now. Kind of a cool setup. There's bleachers right below us, and they wrap around just a little bit, not quite to the dugouts on the left or the right, but there are some hills where fans can sit on. There's a hill out in left field. There's a couple people out there with some lawn chairs. Cool complex here for Grady's Field. They got a couple soccer fields, a couple youth fields behind us. So a lot going on here as the 1-2 comes in. Try to check his swing. He will, is Darnell. And he'll even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Dark clouds starting to roll in from the left side of the field. We might get rained on a little bit here today, but fingers crossed it's able to stay off. All turf field here. That pitch behind Darnell. Thought it might hit him, but was so far behind him that if he got out of the way, he might have jumped right into it. That'll move the count 2 full. Nowhere to put him. Bases loaded. Regan on third. Boylston on second. Lindsay on first. As Dugan Darnell tries to tie this game up, he's even this count 2 full. 3-2 from Torbert. Misses outside. Ball 4, so 3 walks this inning have come back to haunt the Settlers as the Scouts tie this game up at 1 as Regan comes around to score. So bases still loaded here with nobody out. Score is now tied at 1 apiece here in the bottom of the second. That'll bring up the number 8 hitter in Nicholas Tuttle. Nicholas playing second base today. He's from Caldwell, Idaho. Goes to the Masters University. The pitch grounded softly to the second baseman in Wilson. Wilson only has 1 play to first, but safe, says the umpire. So Xenia on the board once again off the soft ground ball from Tuttle. I believe that will go down as a hit. We'll see here on the official score in just a second, but that was a soft ground ball hit off the bat from Tuttle. Middles were back in double play depth, so it was going to be a tough play for Wilson. And the speed of Tuttle beat it out at first base. So Settlers still in a jam here. Bases loaded. Still nobody out. They now trail to the Scouts 2-1. First pitch shot down the first base line, but foul to the shortstop, Noah Orlando. Noah from Savannah, Georgia. Batting right around 150 this season, 222 on base percentage. Goes to Savannah State University. Get one from Torbert. Taken for a strike. Good curveball from Torbert. Puts him ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Yo, 2. Swung on and grounded to first baseman Roberts. He's coming home with it. Throw to Harper 4-1. That'll be all the Settlers get, but still a heads-up play by Roberts. Able to throw it to Chad Harper, the catcher, to retire Jarrett Lindsay. So that'll be a fielder's choice for Orlando. Base is still loaded here, but finally an out. As we're back to the top of the order in Carson Wright. Carson is 0 for 1 today. He popped up to third base in his first at-bat on 2 pitches. So that pitch misses to right for a ball. Still trying to find on the on line if that was a hit or an error. To Tuttle. We haven't gotten confirmation yet as that pitch misses outside. Moves the count to 2 balls and no strikes. I believe they did give Tuttle a hit on that one, so we'll mark a hit on my scorebook as well. Don't see an error up there on the scoreboard or online, so we'll assume that was a base hit as that pitch lined right back up the middle to Wilson. That'll score at least 1. Darnell is around third. He scores. Throw cut off by Roberts, so Scouts going station to station as Darnell scores the 3rd run this inning. Tuttle moves into 3rd, Orlando to 2nd, and Wright on first base with his 1st hit of the game. That'll bring up the center fielder, Chandler Chambers. Chandler 0 for 1 as well, grounded out back to Torbert as he tried to bunt for a base hit in his first at-bat, and he comes up as well in a big spot. 3-1 lead here for the Scouts in the bottom of the 2nd inning. 1 out on the board. Torbert trying to get out of this one. He's walked 3 this inning. First pitch. Curveball misses high for a ball. Chambers from Knoxville, Tennessee, goes to Lipscomb University. Played 28 games this year for the Bison. They went 24-30 this year as he swings and misses through that pitch from Torbert. That'll even count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Chambers Bison team actually played a couple NCAA tournament teams this year. They played Tennessee Tech twice. They lost both of those. And they also beat Vanderbilt, actually. So that pitch tried to check his swing, but went around was Chambers. That'll move the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Beat Vanderbilt 5-1. That's no easy task for any team. As we saw Mississippi State knock them off in the Super Regional. Mississippi State 2-0 right now in the NCAA tournament. They're 1 win away from the finals. That pitch fouled back. Going to keep the count at 1 ball and 2 strikes here to Chambers. Mississippi State beating North Carolina today. A score not really indicative of how that game went. It was a very close game, but Mississippi State put together a big 8th inning to beat the Tar Heels. That pitch misses inside for a ball, evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. That 8th inning was really, nothing can go right for the Tar Heels. Watch that one today before heading to the bus for this game. The Texas Tech-Arkansas game was canceled for today, so they'll play tomorrow in the winner's bracket. That pitch grounded to the left side. That'll get through the hole. That'll score 1. Third base coach waving around. Throw from Ott towards home. Cut off by Pimentel. And they got the runner in a rundown, but nobody at third base as an RBI single from Chambers will score 2. Tuttle comes around to score as well as Orlando. They had Wright hung up in between the bases, but nobody was at third base, so a smart heads-up play by Carson Wright to advance. And this inning has really broken open for the Scouts. They have 5 runs on 4 hits and have been the beneficiary of 3 Torbert walks as well. So the Settlers, much like the other night in Athens, go up 1-0 and concede 5 runs. Following that is that first pitch, broken back, grounded to the right side, fielded by Roberts. He turns, throws over to first. Safe, says the umpire. Another run comes around to score with Carson Wright. That's the 6th run of the game. And that more than likely will go down as an error. We'll get the official ruling here in just a second. But Roberts went to his right, thought about going to second, tried to turn around and throw it to Torbert. Covering the bag, looks like actually is going to go down as a hit for Bertelsmann. So Bertelsmann with the RBI. Single moves Chambers over to second, still only 1 out here in this bottom of the second inning. Settlers just trying to get out of this one as the Scouts have batted around. Here in the second inning, runner goes off from second over to third. Stolen base for Chambers, had no chance. Was Harper's. Even if he did make a throw, Chambers had that good of a jump that he was going to make it there. So runners at the corners now. Still only 1 away. Connor Regan up for the second time in this inning. He walked in his first at-bat and came around to score. That pitch line to the right side. That'll score another one as Chambers comes around to score for the 7th run of the inning. And Regan has the RBI single. Bertelsmann moves into second. And the Xenia Scouts, they lead 7-1.
Number 17, Luke Boylston.
Scored 7 runs in this inning. Torbert went in the first inning 1-2-3 as Harper goes out to talk to his pitcher, Luke Torbert. But Torbert just really can't get any outs here. As these Xenia Scouts, yes, there are 3 walks, but they've hit the ball hard. They have a few line drives into the outfield, no chance for the fielders as the Scouts have put together 6 hits in this inning. So an offensive explosion for an offense that averages right around 9 hits per game, and they have 6 in this second inning. I'll bring up Luke Boylston. First pitch to him taken for a strike. Boylston doubled in his first at-bat this inning. He was the second hitter batting in this inning. Regan walked. Boylston doubled. That put him at second and third to start the threat. That pitch lined into left field for another base hit. Ott fields it in left field. Going to hold the runner at third base. Cut off by Pimentel. And that'll load him up once again as Boylston gets his 2nd hit of this inning. And that'll put the bases loaded once again for Jarrett Lindsay. Lindsay walked in his first at-bat. One of the few Scout runners that has not come around to score. He was thrown out at home plate for the only out of this inning. And Coach Poole going to make the long walk out there to his mound as he's going to relieve his starting pitcher, Luke Torbert. Torbert, like we said, had a great first inning, 1, 2, 3, 7 pitches, but a nightmare second inning as we'll get a pitching change. We'll have that pitcher for you when we come back. Settlers down 7-1, bottom 2. 7-1 ball game here in the bottom of the second inning. Scouts lead the Settlers. It's going to be Spencer Berg on in relief for the Settlers, the left-handed hurler out of Baldwin Wallace College. First pitch to his first batter, Jarrett Lindsay, is swung on and missed for a strike. Berg making his third appearance on the season. He's thrown 2 2/3 innings, 2 strikeouts, 5 walks, and 5 hits. Has not given up a run yet. He inherits these 3 runners from starting pitcher Luke Torbert as that pitch misses outside, evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Still only 1 out here in the bottom of the second inning. Scouts 7 runs on 7 hits, have 3 walks as well. This is the 12th hitter to come to the plate in this inning. So that pitch misses inside, 2 balls and 1 strike now. Jarrett Lindsay has a walk already in this game. Has not come around to score. One of 2 scouts that have not scored in this inning. He was thrown out on the ground out to Roberts at first. That pitch popped up in the infield. It's going to be an infield fly, but Wilson will come under it and retire Lindsay for the second out this inning. So both outs in this inning have been on Jarrett Lindsay. Granted, he did walk in his first at-bat and was thrown out trying to score. That'll bring up Dugan Darnell. Darnell also walked in his first at-bat. Drove in a run, if you will, has the RBI because of that walk. So he comes up with the bases loaded. 2 outs. First pitch from Berg. Misses inside to Darnell. Moves the count to 1 ball and no strikes. Berg, the 6'2", 220-pound lefty, going to go in his junior season for Baldwin Wallace. He made 15 appearances this year. It was a 2-1 record, 3.52 ERA in his collegiate season. As that pitch taken for a strike, going to move the count to 1 ball and 1 strike. Settlers really just trying to get out of this disastrous inning. They went into this half inning leading 1-0. So that pitch catches the inside corner. Good off-speed pitch from Berg. 1 ball, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Bases are loaded to the number 7 hitter, third baseman Dugan Darnell. Darnell chokes up. Berg comes set and delivers the 1-2. Just misses that outside corner. Trying to frame it was catcher Chad Harper. That'll even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Berg did strike out 21 hitters this season in his collegiate league. The 2-2. Good block by Harper. As Berg missed, it was in that right-handed batter's box. And that'll bring the count to full. So runners will get a head start here. Nowhere to put them. Bases are juiced. Boylston on first, Regan on second, and Bertelsmann over on third. 3-2 count to Darnell. Taken for ball 4, as just missing the outside corner was Berg. So 8 runs coming around to score in this inning. Still 2 outs. That run will not be charged to Berg as he inherited that one from Torbert. But still not good for this Licking County Settlers team as they've given up 8 runs in this second inning. That'll be the 4th walk of this inning for this pitching staff, who we talked about has been struggling with their controls. That first pitch to Nicholas Tuttle, taken for a strike. Tuttle had an RBI single in this second inning earlier. He did come around to score the 4th run of the game. So we see a little bit of sunshine on the field now as that pitch bounces in the dirt, or the turf rather. Harper, good block. Count goes to 1-1 now. All turf field here at Grady's Field. Even the mound and the batter's box. You see some fields, they might have a dirt mound, they might have a dirt batter's box, a combination of both. You see some fields that have dirt around the base paths, or maybe a dirt infield, a turf outfield, but all dirt here is. Tuttle try to check his swing, but cannot. Count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. All turf Here, warning tracks, field, grass, outfield, infield, base paths, mound, and batter's box. So some Settlers were taking some ground balls earlier, trying to get used to that turf. As that pitch misses outside, count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Always the different hops you'll see on turf. Maybe some truer hops, but some balls that are hit harder might bounce a little bit higher up in the air as opposed to grass or dirt. Probably not going to get a bad hop per se. The pitch swung on and missed. And finally, the Settlers are out of this disastrous second inning. They came in leading 1-0. They'll head to the third. Scouts lead 8-1.
Kids, remember to return those foul balls to the broadcast booth for a surprise.
They signed their name on it. They did. Yes. Yeah. The ball team doesn't pay for it either. So who pays for it?
Shawnee Hills Baptist Church is located at 3490 Jasper Road in Jamestown. We're a full-service church with programs and ministries for all ages. Our Sunday mornings include Sunday school and adult Bible fellowship classes at 9 and a worship service at 10:30. We have men's and women's ministries, teen and children's ministries, and small group ministries. Our website is www.shbcfamily.com.
Top of 3 here from Grady's Field. Settlers come to bat. They left off last at bat, leading 1-0, and they now trail 8-1. The Scouts scored 8 runs on 7 hits. No errors, but 4 big walks, and obviously those hits proved to be costly as the first pitch to the leadoff hitter, Dylan Ott, is taken for a strike. Ott 0 for 1 today. He flew out to left on the second pitch he saw of the game. As that pitch lined to the third baseman, off the one hop is Darnell. He throws over to first. Scoop not being able to made, as Ott is going to trot into second base off the throwing error by the third baseman in Darnell. So Settlers with their leadoff runner aboard. They're going to need Ott and a few more if they want to get back into this one. So an E5 puts Ott over on second base, and a good start here for the Settlers. That'll bring up the second baseman in Sam Wilson. Sam was also 0 for 1 today. He popped up to the third baseman in the first pitch he saw. Eater threw only 4 pitches to the Settlers' first 3 hitters and got out of it 1, 2, 3. So Settlers probably going to see a couple more here this time around. As that pitch taken for a ball. Eater misses high. Wilson, one of the hotter hitters on this Settler team, finds himself in that number 2 spot behind Dylan Ott. Wilson batting right around 450. He's got an on-base percentage up over 500, so good start for him as he laces that one into center field. Chambers giving chase, but he's going to settle under it. Ott does tag from second. The throw in going to be cut off, and Ott will scoot into third off the fly out from Sam Wilson. So runner in scoring position here for the Settlers, and then I'll bring up the third hitter in Miguel Pimentel. Pimentel, one of the 2 returners to this 2018 Settler baseball team, as he steps into that right-handed batter's box, goes to Lee University, one of their best hitters, and started off the year as the Settlers' best hitter. And a few tough stretches. That pitch misses behind him. Ball's going to get away on the wild pitch, so Ott will come around to score off the wild pitch, and Settlers are back on the scoreboard as they now trail 8-2 here. So nobody on for Pimentel as he tries to start a little bit of a rally here in the third inning. Settlers scored 1 last inning, already have 1 in this inning. They trail by 6, however. That pitch misses low, so Pimentel goes up in the count. 2 balls in, no strikes. Scouts have a little bit of action out in the bullpen, as we mentioned. The worst pitching staff actually in this league as far as ERA, as that pitch fouled off the catcher Regan. Count now goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Team ERA for the Scouts is almost 9, 8.74 to be exact. Hitters are batting .327 against them. 2-1 misses outside for a ball, so Pimentel up the count, 3 balls and 1 strike. Eater actually has the 3rd best ERA on this team at 5.78, so if that tells you anything. That pitch popped straight up. Pimentel looked like he got a pitch he wanted, but pops it up to the right side. Lindsey giving chase over at first base and makes the play, battling the sun. So we have 2 away here in this top of the 3rd inning. That'll bring up Garrett Roberts to the plate. Roberts 0 for 1 today. He grounded back to the pitcher, Eater, in that 2nd inning. He led off the 2nd inning, but the Settlers were able to push 1 across the board with 2 outs. So Roberts will see the first pitch from Eater. Lined into right field. Right fielder coming on is Wright. Wright looked like he might have had to battle the sun as well as he took a couple steps in, stopped, but able to catch that sinking line drive. So the Settlers go down in 4 hitters, but are able to push 1 across. We head to the bottom half. Xenia up 8-2. Bottom 3 from Grady's Field. Xenia leads 8-2 over the Settlers, and you can close the book on starting pitcher Luke Torbert. He went 1 1/3 innings, giving up 8 earned runs, 7 hits, 3 walks, 1 strikeout for the right-handed hurler from Kennesaw State. Let him bring up Spencer Burke on the mound in his 2nd inning of relief. His first pitch to Noah Orlando. The 9th hitter is taken in the dirt for a ball. Orlando in his first at-bat grounded into a fielder's choice. He later came around to score. Sees the 2nd pitch from Burke. Catches the outside corner for a strike. 1 ball, 1 strike now to the shortstop from Savannah State University. Played in 32 games for the Tigers. Tigers, not a great season, to say the least. Went 7-34. Actually lost 17 straight at one point. That pitch shot to the right side, but going to get out of play, so Berg finds himself ahead in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Berg came into that 2nd inning with the bases loaded and only 1 away. Was able to get his first hitter to pop up on an infield fly, walked 1 in, and struck 1 out. So not a bad job out of the pen as that one misses for a ball. Evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Berg had a season high, a career high in strikeouts this season for Baldwin Wallace. Struck out 21 hitters. Had his best year in his sophomore year. So that pitch misses outside as well. So after being ahead 1-2, Berg now finds himself with a full count to the first hitter we see in this third inning. Scouts sent 15 hitters to the plate. Lasting as that pitch lined into right field. So that'll be a base hit for Noah Orlando as Turner Hill fires that ball back into the infield. And for the second consecutive inning, Scouts have their leadoff man aboard. And speaking of leadoff, their leadoff hitter Carson Wright comes to the plate now. Carson is 1 for 2 today. He has a single, RBI single, and he scored a run in that second inning. So Berg finds himself with a runner on first base now. No lefty, of course. So we'll see what kind of running game Xenia will be able to have with that lefty on the hill. As he tries to bunts it right back to Berg. Harper yells out, go to one, as he throws it to Roberts for the sacrifice bunt back to Berg. So one away here. Orlando moves up to second base. So to bring up the number 2 hitter in Chandler Chambers. Chambers also 1 for 2 today. Had a single in that second inning, scored a run, and has 2 RBIs. So no quality second at bat for a sophomore from Lipscomb University. First pitch from Berg. Looked like he was going to square the bunt there, but pulls it back and takes for a ball. Chambers tried to bunt in his first plate appearance, but bunted it right back to the pitcher, then pitcher Torbert, who retired him. So Chambers looks to be a threat to bunt at all times as the runner goes in Orlando, and he slides in safely as Harper really with no throw on that one as well. Second time the Scouts have been able to steal a base without a throw. It was Chambers last time, and Harper really didn't have a play as he got a great jump, getting the cadence down from Berg and able to slide in safely. So runner at third base, 1 out. The 1-1 from Berg, squares around a bunt is Chambers, tries to bunt down the third base line, but will go foul. So 1-2 count now to Chambers. Look like they put on a safety squeeze as the runner in Orlando did not break with the pitch. Of course, Berg a lefty, so Orlando could get a good jump here if they were to try. Again, 2 strikes, probably not, but Pimentel should be wary over there on third base and yelling something out if Orlando were to go. 1-2, misses high. Count goes to 2 balls and 2 strikes. Scouts pounded out 7 hits last inning. Add on 4 walks and you got yourself an 8-run inning, which is what they had. A 2-2. Catches the outside corner, got him looking, is Spencer Berg for his second strikeout today. And just like that, after letting up a lead-up single, he's gotten the last 2 hitters retired. And now has Orlando on third base with 2 outs, and that'll bring up the designated hitter in Ryan Bertelsmann. Bertelsmann, he's 1 for 2 today as well. Had an RBI single in the second, later came around to score. That pitch misses high for a ball to Bertelsmann. Orlando on third base, not getting too big of a lead. That pitch misses outside as well. There's always that chance with a lefty on the mound that with good speed and a good read, he could try to break for the plate here as Harper, the catcher, is blocked by the right-handed hitter. 2-0. Right down the middle for a strike. Lose count to 2 balls and 1 strike. You've seen it plenty of times in college baseball. You get a lefty on the mound, right-handed hitter up. Guys are getting good jumps, which they have gotten good jumps today so far. So that pitch taken for a strike, back-to-back fastballs for a strike. That's going to even the count at 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the third inning, Scouts lead 8-2 over the Settlers. The 2-2 misses outside. Going to move the count to full now. Settler pitching staff already 4 walks. Here today, walks have been an issue as of late. 3-2. Fouled back, so we'll do it again. Pitching staff had 11 walks against Copperhead. 7 of those came around to score. Those were 7 of 14 runs for the 6-1 Copperheads. 3-2. Swung on and missed. Back-to-back strikeouts for Spencer Berg. And after allowing the leadoff single, he's able to work himself out of it and hold the Scouts scoreless. We head to the 4th. Scouts lead 8-2.
No affiliation whatsoever. Anyways, their shortstop played for the Joliet Jackhammers, and he was legit. And the Jackhammers are they're another minor league team. I think they're actually affiliated with the Reds. But we have a runner on first. Somebody hits the ball, second baseman.
Kids return those foul balls to the press box. For surprise, don't return those foul balls to the press box behind home plate.
He whips it straight out and hits our runner in the forehead. The ball goes in the air, our guy goes down. And, in regular baseball, you can do that to intimidate the runner. You got to get out of the way of the throw. But, and of course, just like a lion, the switch went off, and he's just an autopilot. He realizes what he just did after it's over, and he felt terrible. Half our bench is ready to clear, and we're like, hold on. Like, this is what happens when you play pros. They go into pro mode, and our runner didn't know better, so we cooled everybody off. Next play, guy hits it in the gap. First baseman runs to second, clears second. Wham! Hits the next guy in the forehead. Bench is clear. Nothing like a church league fight. Oh, it was awful.
Well, there's some interesting things with church leagues.
We got out of it. It was just too intense, too many weird things happening. We ended up playing the local league and had a lot more fun, a lot more interaction with the teams, a lot more afterwards with the team.
Number 2, Hill.
They're all there to play ball and have fun. They're not putting their pride on the line.
Turner Hill coming to the plate now for the Settlers here in the top of the 4th inning. Turner 0 for 1 today. Had a ground out to second base as he takes that first pitch from the starting pitcher Eater for a strike. It'll be 5-6-7 up here for the Settlers. They've put 1 run across in the past 2 innings. That pitch taken for a ball on the outer half. Looked like Eater tried to go with a little bit of movement towards that outside, maybe a 2-seam fastball. This count evens at 1 ball and 1 strike. That pitch grounded to the shortstop Orlando, who's playing deep as Turner Hill tries to beat it out, but is not in time. So Orlando throws him out on the 6-3 ground out. And very quickly we have 1 away here in the top of the 4th inning. That'll bring up Austin White, the center fielder. Austin started that 2-out rally in the 2nd inning. He reached on an error by the second baseman Tuttle. Austin scored that first run of the game as well for the Settlers. He takes his first pitch high for a ball. Eater tried to pull the breaking ball out on him, but wasn't able to get it to drop far enough down into that zone. So 1-0 pitch. Swung out and missed by White. It's going to even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Austin making his 2nd consecutive start here in center field. Still looking for his first hit. It's 1-1. Taken for a strike. So 1 ball and 2 strikes to the Fresno State product. Chopped right back behind home plate, so White stays alive here in his 2nd at-bat. One, 2 from Eater. Swung on and missed once again from White, and that'll retire him via the strikeout. So 2 hitters have come to the plate here in this 4th inning. 2 have been retired as Nathan Dill steps up to the plate now. Dill from Fort Collins, Colorado, plays at Butler University. As he tries to start maybe another 2-out rally here for the Settlers. First pitch looked at by Dill, taken for a strike. As Eder rolling here through 4. Only giving up 1 hit, 2 runs. One of those was unearned. As that pitch, broken bat, grounded to the shortstop Orlando. He makes the running play and throws all wild. It looks like tough to see around that pole there, but the throw looked like it was down the line a little bit. And the first baseman, Lindsay, couldn't hang on to it. So that'll be an E6 for Orlando. And that's how the run came across the score in the 2nd inning. It was an E4. Austin White came up, got on base with 2 outs, and later came around to score. So we'll see if the Settlers can recreate that as they try to chip into this 8-2 lead. They led this game 1-0, but a big 8 spot in that 2nd inning now has them down 8-2. First pitch to Harper, lined right at Orlando, so no rally for the Settlers this time as they go down in 4 hitters, and they go to the bottom of the 4th, trailing 8-2.
But Mike is like the head manager of a Chick-fil-A, like 2 miles from my in-laws. So I try to catch him whenever I can. There they go.
Direct your sight to the left side of the field. We have one-legged foot race.
Tony Paul. Looks like he's with Jackson. Go Jackson! Go Jackson! It's rigged. Red shirt. No, I don't know.
A big round of applause for all the participants.
Kiddos. All right, Deborah. Enjoy the game.
Number 6, Connor Regan.
Before 5-6 here for the Scouts in the bottom of the 4th inning. They find themselves leading the Licking County Settlers 8-2 here. Spencer Berg still on the mound for the Settlers, and Connor Regan, the catcher, will step into the plate now. He's 1 for 1 today. Had a single, an RBI single in that 2nd inning. Also had a walk and scored runs. He's first pitch swinging into center field. Austin White giving chase, not able to make it, and that ball is going to roll to the wall. Regan into second base. He might try for a third, but he'll be held up as a good relay throw by Dylan Ott. Back into the infield is going to hold him at second base. Austin White tried to slide, but was not able to get there, and that ball rolled to probably the deepest part of the ballpark. So good job by Dylan Ott, able to get over there and make sure Regan only had a double. So 2 for 2 today for Regan, a single and a double, and that puts the Scouts threatening again as they have the 3 innings in a row, have their lead-off runner aboard. That'll bring up Luke Boylston. Boylston is 2 for 2 today, has a single and a double. He doubled in the 2nd and came around to score. He actually had 2 at-bats in that second inning, part of that 8-run outburst by the Scouts where they sent 15 hitters to the plate. So Berg finds himself in a jam once again. That pitch fouled off, first pitch swinging in back-to-back hitters, but fouling it off was Boylston. Boylston from Fairview, Texas. He goes to the University of Dallas. He's hitting .235 this year. Going to raise that average with 2 hits already today. Second pitch from Berg. Runner thought about going, but ran back, hit down the right side. Roberts gave chase, but going to run out of room as Boylston very quickly down the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Berg allowed a leadoff single last inning and was able to strand him at third base. Got a 1-3 ground out and back-to-back strikeouts to retire the side of the third and keep this at a 6-run deficit. Looking to do it once more here as that pitch just misses the outside corner. Good spot on an 0-2 pitch from Berg. That'll move the count to 1 ball and 2 strikes. Nobody out here. Connor Regan over on second base. As Berg looks to be the stopper over the penny. Checks on the runner over at second base. Already 2 stolen bases for this Scouts team. They are no strangers to running. They like to run a lot. They've stolen 20 bases, now 22. As that pitch grounded to the shortstop, Inso Bozic. He fires over to Roberts at first and retires Boylston on the 6-3 ground out. Now 1 away for this Scouts offensive attack.
Number 25,
First baseman Jarrett Lindsay coming to the plate now. Lindsay 0 for 1 today. Had a walk as well as a pop-up in that second inning. Might be if we can do some research here real fast. No, he is 1 of 2 hitters without a hit for this Scouts team. So in the 4th inning, almost every hitter has a hit as that pitch blooped into center field. White had to take about 2 steps in front of him and able to retire Lindsay. First pitch swinging as Regan gave a couple steps towards third, but White was ready to throw it in. So just like that, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 4th inning after giving up a leadoff double to Regan. Berg has done very well, but still need that 3rd out as Dugan Darnell comes to the plate now. Darnell is the only other hitter without a hit today, but he has 2 walks, 2 RBIs, if you will, and scored a run. So Darnell, a very productive day despite not having a hit as he steps into that left-handed batter's box. Lefty on lefty matchup here with 2 outs in the bottom of the 4th. First pitch from Berg in the dirt. Good pick by catcher Chad Harper. Harper had some pass ball issues against Southern Ohio the other day, but hasn't had any pass balls yet today. 1-0. Catches the outside corner with the fastball was Berg. Pushes that count to 1 ball and 1 strike. Harper was taken out of that game for Cale Baker. Cale later was ejected, so Cale has the 1-game suspension here today. So Harper, the only catcher on the roster, as that pitch lined into center. That's going to get down, and Regan will come around from third base. White comes up throwing, but up the line and cut off by Roberts. So the RBI 2-out single from Dugan Darnell puts the Scouts on the board once again. They score their 9th run here today, and they lead this ball game 9-2 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Second baseman Nicholas Tuttle hitting to the batter's box now. Tuttle had 2 at-bats in that second inning, had an RBI single, came around to score, and struck out to end that second inning. So he's seen Berg once and has struck out once. That first pitch catches for a strike. Tuttle watching that one go by him. Berg was able to get out of the 3rd inning after giving up a leadoff single. Gave up a leadoff double to start this inning, but the 2-out single from Darnell brought him in as that pitch misses for a ball. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Settle from Caldwell, Idaho. Goes to the Masters University out in California. That pitch misses outside. For a ball once again, 2 balls and 1 strike. Tuttle played in 53 games. Hit 236, 35 hits, 17 stolen basemen, so a productive season for him. That pitch popped up to the right side. Roberts going to give it a go down that right side, but he's going to run out of room just barely. That'll even the count at 2. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the 4th inning, Scouts already have pushed 1 runner across home plate, have 1 more on first base right now. Settlers got out to a 1-0 lead after the top of the second, but an 8-run bottom of the second. They've been trailing ever since. 2-2 misses inside for a ball, so full count. Runner in Darnell will get a head start here. Settlers got one back in the 3rd, but Scouts able to counter here in the bottom of the 4th. 3-2, runner goes, swung on, fouled back. Okay, might have got a piece of either Harper or the home plate umpire. But we'll do it again. The humidity very high today. It'll be tough for the pitchers to get a grip on that ball. Probably some sweaty palms. 3-2. Laced into right field. That'll get down for another base hit. Turner Hill fields it and fires to third base. Going to be caught by Pimentel as Tuttle will slide into second off the throw. So give it a single for Tuttle. He'll advance to second base on the throw. And the Scouts have 2 runners in scoring position here with 2 away. That'll bring up the number 9 hitter in Noah Orlando. Noah is 1 for 2 today. Reached on a fielder's choice in the 2nd inning. Later came around to score. And then in the 3rd inning had a single and a stolen base as well. One of the 2 stolen bases for these Scouts base runners. So in a big spot here. Might be able to break this one open. If he were to single, probably would score 2. So that pitch misses high. 1 ball and no strikes. Scouts with 11 hits today. They usually average about 9. They have 11, and we're not even out of the 4th. So that pitch bloops into shallow right field. Nobody is going to get there, as that's going to be a 2-run, might be a double here, as Orlando slides into second safely, as that took a funny hop from the right fielder, Turner Hill. So mark it a 2 RBI double from Noah Orlando, as this one really getting out of hand from the Settlers. As they now trail on this one 11-2. Top of the order up now for the Scouts. It'll be Carson Wright in his 4th plate appearance of the game. Bottom 4, he's already hit 3 times. He's 1 for 3. Had a pop-up in the 1st, RBI single in the 2nd when he came around to score, and then a ground out in the 3rd as that pitch hits him. So he will reach first base off the hit-by pitch from Berg, and that'll put runners on 1st and 2nd here with 2 outs. So an inning that looked like Berg might be able to get out of it, conceding no runs. He's now given up 3 with the opportunity for some more, as Chandler Chambers will be the 8th hitter to step into the batter's box this inning. Scouts had a 15 hitters in the 2nd inning, now have brought up 8. First pitch from Berg, looked at for a strike. Chambers today is 1 for 3, had an RBI, 2 RBI single in the 2nd. Also has a strikeout and a ground out. And on a stolen base in there as well. And not a shabby game, but we still got a lot more game left to play as that pitch bounces in the dirt. Blocked by Harper. So 1 ball and 1 strike to the center fielder from Lipscomb University. We talked about how That Bison team played Tennessee Tech twice this year. He actually has a brother in Chase that plays on that team. So that pitch misses outside for a ball, 2 balls and 1 strike. Tennessee Tech, of course, making it to the Super Regionals, but eventually fell to Texas in game number 3. It took game number 1 and had Texas really on the ropes, but not able to finish the job as that pitch misses once again for a ball, so 3 balls and 1 strike. Texas eliminated today by Florida. Their season is done. An outstanding year from Cody Clemens. 24 home runs on the year for the Longhorn. He was drafted by the Tigers in the first round, so Roger Clemens, his son, going to get a major league shot just like his father. 3-1 from Berg. Misses inside for ball number 4, and that'll load him up here for the Scouts as they have sent 9 hitters to the plate. 9th one will be the designated hitter in Ryan Bertelsmann. Bertelsmann is 1 for 3 today. Had an RBI single in the second and scored a run. Probably noticing a trend in that second inning. A lot of hits. 7 hits to be exact. 8 runs in that inning. So a lot of RBIs, a lot of hits. Throwing a few walks there and not a great inning. Bertelsmann has also struck out twice today. Had 1 looking and 1 swinging as Berg tries to get out of this 4th inning. First pitch. Laced into center field. White coming on. Took 2 steps in and catches it for out number 3, but not before the Scouts able to put another crooked number up on the board. We head to the 5th. Settlers trail 11-2.
Shawnee Hills Baptist Church is located at 3490 Jasper Road in Jamestown. They are a full-service church with programs and ministries for all ages. Their Sunday mornings include Sunday school and adult Bible fellowship classes at 9 and a worship service at 10:30. They have a men's and women's ministry, teen and children's ministries, and small group ministries. Their website is shbcfamily.com. Awana, a club ministry for children preschool through elementary, meets on Wednesday evenings from 6:30 to 8, September through April. Sunday evening equip classes for men, women, and children meet at 6 from September through April as well. Kids, if you have any foul balls, please bring those to the broadcast booth behind home plate. We appreciate your help. Number 10, Sobaski.
First pitch to Sobozic. Taking on the outside corner for a strike. Through 4 innings, Settlers 2 hits on 1 run. No errors. Scouts 11 runs, 12 hits, 3 errors. That pitch missed from Sobozic as he goes down the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Sobozic 0 for 1 today. He popped up to short his first appearance. That pitch flared into right field. It'll be the second baseman, Tuttle, settling under it and retiring Sobozic for out number 1. Then bring up the leadoff hitter in Dylan Ott. Ott playing left field today. He's 0 for 2. Flew out to left in the first inning and reached on an error in the third and later scored on a wild pitch. As he leads the Great Lakes Collegiate League in batting average this year is pitcher Caleb Eder steps off and resets as he pitches to Ott. That pitch grounded softly towards third base. Darnell's going to scoop and throw over to first. It looks like, no, it's not going to be in time. It looked like the first baseman, Lindsey, pulled his foot off the bag as the scout infielders all look at that base umpire in disbelief, but from our vantage point, looked like a good call. Tried to see it around this pole right here, kind of an annoying pole. Might call it a pesky pole, but obviously not in Boston. So Ott will reach via error once again off the throwing error by the third baseman Darnell. That's how he reached the other time. It was a throwing error from Darnell. So one away for Sam Wilson, the number 2 hitter in this Settler order. Wilson 0 for 2 today. Pop up to third and a fly out to center. Wilson came in as one of the hotter hitters. Him and Ott have really been going hit for hit these last couple games as Eater checks on Ott over at first base and he slides in safely. Wilson 7 for his last 10. Scored 4 runs. Has 3 RBIs as well. He really found a home in that number 2 hole. Only one game this year where Wilson hasn't gotten a hit. So that pitch taken for a ball. Ott over at first base. Wilson at the dish. Pitch inside, nearly hit. Wilson in the head as he took that one. A little bit of chin music from Eater. Settlers trail this one 11-2. 3 runs came across the score in that last inning. It was 3 runs on 4 hits for the Scouts. So pitch taken for a strike to Wilson. 3 balls, 1 strike to right-handed hitting, Dublin, Ohio native. Pitch from Eater. Ott runs, but it's going to be fouled off. So move the count to 3 balls and 2 strikes. Wilson, a Wabash Valley College product, finished year 45, 11, and 1. He played in 45 of those games, so a regular starter for them. 3-2, fouled off once again down the third baseline. His third base coach, Robbie Howell, fields it and fires over the pitcher in Eater. So we'll do it again. Ott over on first, Wilson at the dish, looking for his first hit today. Settlers trail 11-2 in the top of the 5th inning. Checks on Ott. Again is Eater, but not in time once again as Ott slides back in safely. Settlers only 1 hit today. A team that averages nearly 10 hits has really been shut down as Ott runs once again, but ball in the dirt. So that'll put runners at first and second base here with 1 away.
Number 30, Pimentel.
That'll bring up the number 3 hitter in Miguel Pimentel. Miguel also searching for his first hit today. Only hit from the Settlers was from Chad Harper. It was an RBI single in the second. Pimentel flew out to right and popped up to first. On a 3-1 pitch, you could see he was frustrated, got a pitch that he liked, but not able to do anything with it as his first pitch swinging here, but going to ground it foul towards that third base dugout. Miguel, his last 12 at-bats, he has 2 hits. Started off as one of the hottest hitters on this Settler team. He was 7th in the Gulf Shore Conference in college this year with a .372 average, so a guy that is a very good hitter. As he gets hit by a pitch, takes that one right off the left shoulder blade, and that's going to load him up. So Pimentel heads over to first, Ott on third, Wilson on second.
Roberts.
So a good spot for the Settlers to try to get some runs back as they try to chip in to that 9-run lead. We saw them against Southern Ohio, never gave up. They were down 10-2 at one point, but got it to within 4 once again. Then ended the game 14-9, taking the loss. So they can put up runs. They average about 7 runs per game. They can hit the ball. Had 16 hits last game as Roberts shoots that right back up the middle, and that'll get through the infield. Ott's going to score, and Wilson's going to be waved around from third as he stands up and scores. So a 2 RBI single from Garrett Roberts for the second hit today puts 2 more runners across for the Settlers. First pitch swinging from Roberts. Laces one past the diving Orlando at short and into center field. So Settlers with a little bit of a rally here in this 5th inning, trying to chip away at that Scout lead, and that'll bring up Turner Hill, the right fielder. Turner today also hitless, has 2 groundouts. First pitcher Meter squares the bunt, but taken for a ball. Turner finds himself in a big spot, had a big double the last game against Southern Ohio. Later came around to score in that one, so he's had his moments early on this year. 1-0. Shot into left field. Going to be a tough run for Boylston as he goes down the left field line, but it's going to hook foul and out of play. So a little bit of a slice from the left-handed hitter. Gets it out of play. It was going to be a long run for Boylston as he is unable to come up with it. So 1-1 count to the Marietta, Ohio native. Turner hitting just under 400 this year. Settlers could use another base hit now. Single, depending on how hard it is hit, could score Pimentel from second. He squares the bunt once again. Hit down the third base line. Good bunt from Turner. He's going to beat it out. A great bunt by Turner Hill down that third base line, but once Eater, the pitcher, got to it, really didn't have a throw. So the speed from Hill puts him on first base, and the Settlers have their 3rd hit of the game. A little bit of a rally for the Settlers. They have the bases loaded, 1 out. It looks like we're going to get a mound visit from the Scout pitching coach. As we talked about, this Scout team, as far as ERA, they have the worst ERA in the Great Lakes League this summer. The Settlers come in hitting fairly well, too. Had 16 hits last game. Haven't seen it so much today, only 3 hits right now, but you would think that this was going to be a shootout, as most of the Scouts games are. Usually right around the 7, 8, 9 runs for both teams. Usually pretty close games as well, too, if you look at their schedule that they've played this year. We'll pull that up in a second, but Settlers, they can put a couple more across the board here. Austin White's going to come to the plate. Austin still searching for his first hit. There we go. Scouts won the last game 7-4 over the Joes. Also won 8-6. 12-9 win over the Graders. 13-4 win. 8-7. She lost to the Lima Locos 24-9. But usually, if you're playing the Scouts, it's going to be a high-scoring game, and we've seen the Scouts on that end, but Settlers trying to play catch-up. That 8-run second inning really glaring back at the Settlers right now as Austin White sees his first pitch, checks his swing. He went around, says the field umpire, so White down to the count, no balls and 2 strikes. Be a big time for Austin's first hit as a Settler. He's got the bases loaded with 1 out, his team down by 7. He swings through that one. Really nowhere near that pitch as Eater pulled out the breaking ball on him. So White finds himself in a hole 0-2. As Eater looks for his second strikeout today. The 0-2 misses low and away. 1 ball and 2 strike to the right-handed hitting Fresno State Bulldog. Normally see Eddie Pena in the lineup. He's getting the day off today, so Austin, the lone Bulldog in this lineup. The 1-2 swung on and missed for strike number 3, so White goes down on strikes for the 2nd consecutive at-bat, and there are 2 away here in the top of the 5th inning. Nathan Dill will dig into that right-handed batter's box. Dill is 0 for 1 today. He was hit by a pitch in the 2nd and reached via the error in the 4th. Scouts with 4 errors in the field today. Settlers haven't been able to capitalize. That pitch shot to the right side. That's going to get down. 1 run's going to score Roberts being waved in as that ball gets to the corner. Wright going to throw it in. And Turner Hill held at third. So a 2 RBI single from Nathan Dill puts runs 5 and 6 across the board here for the Settlers as they continue to just chip away at this lead. The 2 RBI single puts the Settlers now down 11-6 in this one. So Settlers really right back in this ball game. Turner Hill moves over to third. Nathan Dill over at first. Chad Harper comes to plate now. Harper had an RBI single in the second and popped up in the fourth. So he looks for hit number 2 as well as RBI number 2 in this game. And I'm sure the Settlers would love to keep putting it on in this 5th inning. They've already brought 4 across the plate as that pitch misses low to Harper. Entering this inning, Settlers only had 1 hit. They've added 3 in this inning, so they have 4. And on a hit by pitch, an error, and a walk, and that'll put a 4 spot up for you. Second pitch to Harper, grounded towards the right side of second base. Tuttle with the flip over to second, able to get Dill, but the Settlers able to flash the bats here in that top of the 5th inning as they put 4 runs across. We head to the bottom half. Settlers trail 11-6.
Balls to the press box behind home plate. Reagan.
Four, 5, 6 hitters coming up for the Scouts here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Settlers put a 4 spot up in the top half. They scored 4 runs on 3 hits. There was an error, and they left 2 on base. So a little bit of life coming from the bats of the Settlers as they trail 11-6 here in bottom 5. Spencer Berg on the bump once again. His 3rd inning of relief. First pitch to Connor Regan misses for a ball. Regan today 2 for 2. And a single, a double, has an RBI, and a walk. So that pitch misses high and inside. 2 balls and 1 strike. He scored twice as well. So a good day for the right-handed hitting catcher from Sagamore Hills, Ohio. That pitch fouled straight back. 2 balls and 1 strike. Connor goes to Wright State University. He appeared in only 7 games for the Raiders. Only had 7 ABs with 1 hit. So I'm getting a lot of action here in this summer league. 2-1 from Berg. Taken for a strike. Leaving the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. You see a lot of guys kind of in the same spot as Connor Regan, where didn't see a whole lot of action for their college teams. They come out in the summer, and this is going to be most games they've seen in a while. That pitch grounded to the left side, so Bozic backhand in the hole. Fires over to first base. To Roberts in time for out number 1. So the 6-3 ground out starts off this 5th inning. That was the first
Number 17,
time in
Wilson.
3 innings. So the first time, 4 innings. First time since the first inning. There, I finally got it out. That the leadoff runner has been retired for the Scouts. So possibly a good sign here as Luke Boylston takes his first pitch in the dirt for ball number 1. Boylston today is 2 for 3, has a double, a single, has scored a run, and a ground out. So productive day for him as well, as the Scouts have mashed out 12 hits in this game. That pitch swung on and missed, but the bat goes flying. Went right over the Scout dugout on the third base side. I know there was another bat that went flying earlier today. I can't remember if it was Boylston that first time or not, but like we've been saying, very humid here today, so those palms definitely going to get sweaty. Need a little bit of extra pine tar on that bat. I know it's hot here in this press box overlooking Grady's field. So I can't imagine, especially on the turf too, as this field is all turf. It's probably a little bit hotter down there as well, as there was a little bit of rain today, but so far, no storms. So that pitch misses high. Count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. Boylston, a Texas native, so he's probably actually used to this heat. As he tried to check his swing, but went around, says the base umpire. That's even the count. At 2 balls and 2 strikes. I'm sure Texas experiences some humidity. Definitely some hot days, maybe a little bit more dry heat, but he's definitely no stranger to it. As he finds himself in a battle here with left-handed reliever Spencer Berg. This time is called by the umpires. Berg taking his time on the mound, not coming set, so Boylston electing to call time. Umpire says ready to play. Berg comes set. The 2-2 swung on and missed from Boylston. That's going to be strikeout number 3 for Berg today. And the first 2 hitters that have come up have been retired as Berg looks to set down this Scout order. 1, 2, 3. First baseman Jarrett Lindsay digs in now. Lindsay he was the only one. He was one of 2 players that hadn't had a hit, but he is the only Scout without a hit today. This first pitch low for a ball. Lindsay has a walk, a pop out, and a fly out. Has not scored a run either, so that's another anomaly. He's the only Scout that hasn't scored a run yet today either. That pitch taken on the inner half for a strike. So every Scout has a hit and a run except Jarrett Lindsay. How about that? So that pitch low and bounces right into the chest of Chad Harper. 2-1. Now the right-handed hitting first baseman. Lindsay from Upland, California, goes to Point Loma Nazarene. Played in 44 games his freshman season for the Sea Lions. That pitch fouled straight back. Gonna even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So 2s across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs here in the bottom of the 5th inning. Scouts lead 11-6. Settlers were down 11-2, put up a 4 spot in the top half. So if Berg can get out of this one, we'll see if that offense can keep it going. The 2-2 pops into a shallow right field. Turner Hill coming on, and he will make the play. So for the first time since the first inning, the Scouts are retired in order as we head to 6. Settlers trail by 5. First pitch swinging for Sobozic right up the middle, but under the glove of shortstop Noah Orlando. So Orlando's second error of the game will put the leadoff runner aboard in Sobozic. It's 9-1-2 for the Settlers on the E6. And that'll bring up Dylan Ott to the plate. Ott still searching for his first hit as he's gotten aboard his last two at-bats via the error, both by Dugan Darnell over at third base. So Ott, the leading hitter batting average-wise in this league, with a chance to do some damage as he squared around a bunt, but took it on the outside corner for a strike. Ott, like Sam Wilson, has only one game this year where he has not recorded a hit. Big spot here as third baseman comes in looking for the bunt. As that's going to hit Ott in the left shoulder. So Ott will head on over to first base, and that'll put the first two runners aboard here for the Settlers. So after they put up a 4-spot last inning, they are threatening to put up another crooked number as they trail by 5 here in the top of the 6th inning. Sam Wilson up now. Wilson also searching for his first hit. He walked in his last at-bat, but came around to score. He was run number 2 of that 4-run outburst. So corners will come in for the Scouts. Middle's going to stay back in double play depth. First pitch to Wilson low for a ball. Wilson ahead, 1 ball and no strikes now. Wilson and Ott have really been leading this Settler lineup, as both are hitting well over 400. Wilson right around 460 and Ott right around 500. It's that pitch lined into left field, base hit for Wilson. Ott's going to be waved around, or excuse me, Sobozic's going to be waved around third as that throw is cut off. Ott slides back into second. So an RBI single by Sam Wilson is going to cut into that Scout lead once again, 11-7 here, and the Settlers have a little bit of life. Miguel Pimentel will head to the batter's box now. There is some action in the Scout bullpen down the left field line. Eder had been rolling through 5 innings. Last inning in the 5th was really the only blemish he had. He'd only given up 2 runs, but put up a 4-spot by the Settlers. That pitch goes over the head of Pimentel, and that'll get to the backstop. So the Settler runners will move up 90 feet as Ott will be at third base. Wilson will be at second. Pimentel ahead in the count. 1 ball and no strikes as catcher Regan looks in to that Scout dugout. We've been talking about it all game. Xenia has one of the worst pitching staffs in this league as far as ERA. Their team ERA up near 9. That pitch lined right back up the middle for Pimentel. That'll bring Ott around to score. Wilson being held at third base. And Pimentel with the RBI single. So back-to-back RBI singles here for the Settlers. They now find themselves down by 3.
32, Roberts.
So the Settlers at one point were down 11-2. Have come roaring back as we're going to get a little meeting on the mound between Orlando and Regan. So Dylan Ott comes around to score. Wilson held up at third base. Settlers never say die attitude. You saw it against Southern Ohio. They were down 10-2 at one point. Game ended up 14-9, but the Settlers had the bases loaded in the 8th inning. Had a chance to score a couple more runs, but were unable to. So these hitters, they've been hot. Most of the lineup has been able to put up some pretty good numbers as of late. They had 16 hits as we're going to get time, and this might be the pitching change we were expecting as the Scout manager makes the slow walk towards the pitching mound. So Garrett Roberts will be the hitter. This might be the last time we see Eder in this game as we're waiting a signal. Eder, like we said, had been rolling really through 4. Settlers had Only one hit through 4 innings. Not a whole lot of walks, only one hit by pitch, no walks. Eater had been getting the job done, but a 4-run 5th inning and now a 2-run 6th inning. As the Settlers back to within 3 is our home plate umpire going to go break this meeting up on the mound, and looks like we are going to get a call to the pen, obviously just stalling so his pitcher can get a little more warmed up. So Eater will exit. We'll have the relief pitcher for you when we come back. Settlers with 2 men aboard, nobody out. They trail by 3.
Now pitching for your Xenia Scouts, number 8, Andrew Verberge.
So don't close the book on Caleb Eater just yet as he exits, leaving 2 runners aboard, and that'll bring up Blake Verberge to the plate. He's from Hillsdale College. His first pitch to Roberts, swung on and missed for a strike. Andrew Verberge. Had that wrong on the roster here. Andrew Verberge making his 4th appearance. He finds himself in a tough spot. 1-1 count now to Roberts as the pitch misses on the outside. Verberge comes in a tough spot. He's got runners at the corners, nobody out. Settlers have already put 2 runners across here in this top of the 6th inning. It's 11-8 ball game. Settlers really right back in it with Roberts at the plate here as that pitch misses once again. 2 balls and 1 strike to the right-handed hitter from Cuyahoga College. Roberts already a 2 RBI single last inning in the 5th with a chance to do some more damage. He's been hot. He's, before this game, 5 for his last 8. That pitch misses inside, nearly hit Roberts. It'll move the count to 3 balls and 1 strike. So 6 for his last 11 with 5 RBIs is Roberts. He has a chance for another one. 3-1. Misses high for a ball. So a 5-pitch walk to Roberts will load him up for the Settlers, and the right fielder, Turner Hill, steps to the plate now. Turner had a single in the 5th inning. He's 1 for 3 today. Had a pair of groundouts as well. So Turner finds himself in a big spot as corners are in for the Scouts. Middles in double play depth as that first pitch taken for a ball. Verberge on the season, like we said, this is his 4th appearance, 4.69 ERA, 7 2/3 innings. has a save, giving up 5 hits, 2 walks, 4 strikeouts. It's one of the better ERAs on this Scouts team. That pitch misses high for another ball. So after the 5-pitch walk to Roberts, Turner Hill ahead in the count, 2 balls and no strikes here. With the bases loaded in the top of the 6th inning. That pitch taken on the outer half for a strike. Probably a good take by Turner. You're up in the count 2-0. Hasn't thrown a lot of strikes. That would be a tough pitch to handle. Probably would have hit that on that left side somewhere. So lose to fight another day. 2-1. Taking low in the dirt. 3 balls and 1 strike now. So nowhere to put Turner Hill. Verberge in danger of walking his 2nd consecutive hitter and giving another run to the Settlers. The 3-1 misses for a ball. Back-to-back walks bring Sam Wilson home to score, and the Settlers now find themselves down by 2. 11-9 here in the top of the 2nd inning. That'll bring Andrew White to the plate now. Andrew still looking for his first hit as a Licking County Settler. It looks like actually we're going to get a pinch hitter. That's going to be Brendan Ellis. Ellis going to pinch hit for White. Ellis, of course, from Northern Kentucky University. Hitting 118 on the year, has a 167 on base percentage, only 2 hits on the season. As Ellis will get a crack at Verberge with the bases loaded and nobody out. Pimentel on third, Roberts on second, Hill on first. First pitch to Ellis, taken inside for a ball. So Ellis in a big spot. Had been starting in the outfield off and on. Didn't get the start today, but finds himself in a big spot. As that ball laced down the left field line, but is going to hook foul. As Ellis got a good piece of the bat on that one, but just a bit early. As he evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Verberge wants his signs once again from his catcher, Regan. The 1-1. Curveball pops straight up in the infield. That's going to be an infield fly. Runners can't advance their own risk, but first baseman Lindsay will come under it for out number 1. So the pinch hitter, Alice, pops up for the first out. That'll bring up Nathan Dill to the plate now. Dill is 1 for 2 today, was hit by a pitch in the 2nd. Reached on an error in the 4th and got 2 RBI single in the 5th. So Dill comes up with the bases loaded. Top 6, 11-9 Settlers trail. So that pitch curveball misses outside. As yet another hitter Verberge gets behind on. He's been struggling to find the strike zone. Has 2 walks already. The 1-0. Misses in the dirt once again. So 2 balls, no strikes to the right-handed hitting Butler Bulldog. Nathan didn't see a lot of action this season for Butler. Only played in 6 games, all coming off the bench. So a big spot here as he hits that one right back up the middle, but this could be 2. Diving back to the bases, Tuttle, and he doubles off Roberts. So the Settlers had the bases loaded. Dill hit a soft line drive to Tuttle, the second baseman, and he was able to get the double play. Settlers were able to push 3 runs across, but definitely looking to score a couple more as they are retired. We head to the bottom of the 6th inning. Settlers trail by 2.
Which team will walk through the hula hoop first? Oh, give them a round of applause. Very nice job. Great job, everybody. Let's give them a round of applause for all the participants. Number 15, Duke.
Spencer Berg out on the hill to face the 7, 8, 9 hitters for the Scouts once again. And he looks up at the scoreboard and sees his Settler team only down by 2 here. Berg in his 5th inning of relief. His first batter will be Dugan Darnell, taking for a strike. Darnell today is 1 for 1. Hit an RBI single in the 4th inning. Has 2 walks. Come around to score twice is Darnell. Takes back-to-back pitches. That's going to even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Berg been fairly efficient out of the pen. Just really has 1 blemish. That was the 4th inning. Gave up 3 runs, but has really baffled the Scout hitter since then as that pitch misses on the outer half for a ball. 2-1. The count now to Darnell. Came in that 8-run second inning, did Berg, and gave up 1 as that pitch line right back up the middle. So leadoff runner aboard for the Scouts. They look to extend their 2-run lead and get a couple runs back as the Settlers have put up 7 runs over the last 2 innings, as we're going to get a mound visit from Coach Poole. There is some action in the pen right now. This could be it for Berg. Berg, like we said, been fairly effective. Came in that 2nd inning out of relief as he's going to get a fist bump from Roberts and hand the ball over to Coach Poole. So we'll see who the reliever is here. It'll be Cannon Duke on the mound now for the Settlers. He will come in with one runner aboard and nobody out. The number 8 hitter in Nicholas Tuttle. Good job by Spencer Berg out of the pen. We'll get the final stat line on him at the conclusion of this inning as he leaves a runner aboard on for the right-handed side armor as that first pitch gets away from Harper. And that'll put a runner on second base with nobody away. Cannon online, it says he's only had 2 appearances. Believe he did pitch in that game in Richmond. We're still waiting for Richmond to finalize those stats, so some statistics online may be a little awry. If you go on and check there, is the stats won't update until the game is finalized. But as far as online is concerned, he's only thrown 2 innings, 4.5 ERA, only giving up 1 run as the hitter squares around a bunt, taken for a ball is Tuttle. Tuttle has 2 singles today, has an RBI, and scored 2 runs. So he looks to extend this 2-run lead for the Scouts. Cannon, Duke been used a lot in situations where maybe a safe situation or just a situation where the Settlers want to hold this game right where it's at as that pitch misses outside. 3 balls and no strikes to the 8 hitter. So Duke comes out of the pen and throws 3 balls as Tuttle has squared to bunt the last couple times. Roberts slowly walking in from first base, looking for a bunt as that pitch misses. Ball 4, a 4-pitch walk. We have runners on first and second for the Scouts.
Number 11, Noah Orlando.
We'll bring up the number 9 hitter, Noah Orlando. Orlando has 2 hits today, 2 RBIs, 1 run scored, and a stolen base. So a productive day for the shortstop from Savannah, Georgia. So he stands in with an opportunity for the Scouts to extend this 2-run lead. Settlers have scored 7 runs the last 2 innings to get themselves back in this ball game as Roberts starts walking in once again. Orlando squares the bunt, taken for a strike. Harper throw down to second, not in time. But the pitch was taken for a strike, so Duke ahead in the count, no balls and 1 strike. It's a tough arm slot for hitters to pick the ball up from as Duke somewhere between a sidearm and a submarine. Just kind of dependent on which pitch he throws. He squares the bunt once again, right back to Duke as he fields it and fires to second baseman Wilson over to first. So 1 retired here on the 1-4 ground out. But Orlando does his job and moves his runners into scoring position. So the Scouts have 2 aboard at second and third. It'll be the top of the order coming up here in the bottom of the 6th inning. Carson Wright coming to plate for the 5th time today. Carson is 1 for 3, had an RBI single in the second. Came around to score and was hit by a pitch in the 4th as the infield for the Settlers now comes in. First pitch from Duke. Popped up to the left side. Pimentel gives chase, and he will come down with it. As first pitch swinging was right, and he pops up to the third baseman in Pimentel. So after the first 2 hitters reach base for the Scouts, the next 2 are retired, and Cannon Duke is 1 out away from holding this 2-run deficit right where it is at for the Settlers. Center fielder Chandler Chambers digging in now. Chandler 1 for 3 today, had a 2 RBI single in the second, later came around to score and walked in the 4th. First pitch from Duke. Just misses that inside corner. Good breaking pitch from Duke. Bundy's behind the count, 1 ball and no strikes. Duke talked about after his first game, gave up that 1 run, but was trying to get back into the swing of things. Had a little bit of an injury during his college season at Southwest Tennessee Community College. So he's trying to get back in the groove as that pitch misses low for a ball. Bases open at first base, so a walk wouldn't harm the Settlers here. We said 2 away, 2 aboard, second and third. (2-0). Good breaking pitch once again, catches the inside corner. 2 balls and 1 strike. Now the right-handed hitting Knoxville, Tennessee native, so 2 Tennessee kids battling it out right now. As Duke asks for the sign from Harper once again. He comes set. Checks his runner at second and delivers. Taking for a strike and even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So just like that, Cannon 1 strike away from retiring the side here in the 6th inning. 2s across the board, 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Settlers trail by 2. Trying to keep this deficit right where it is at. Time is called by the hitter in Chambers. We'll await the 2-2 pitch from Cannon Duke. Cannon comes set. Takes a breath and the pitch. Swung on and missed. Caught by Harper. Duke comes in and shuts the door on the Scouts' 6th inning. We head to the top of the 7th. Settlers trail by 2.
Shawnee Hills Baptist Church is located at 3490 Jasper Road in Jamestown. They are a full-service church with programs and ministries for all ages. Their Sunday mornings include Sunday school and adult Bible fellowship classes at 9 and a worship service at 10:30. They have men's and women's ministries, teen and children's ministries, and small group ministries. Their website is shbcfamily.com. Whiz Kids, a tutoring ministry for elementary age children, meets October through April on Tuesday afternoons from 4 to 5. A men's sportsman workshop and dinner will be held Saturday, January 26th. For more information, call 937-675-4121 or email Pastor Dave at shbcfamily.com. Kids, don't forget to return those foul balls this evening. Bring them to the broadcast booth located behind home plate. Number 8, Harper.
Top of the 7th here from Grady's Field in Xenia, Ohio. Settlers trail 11-9. Cannon Duke getting out of the bottom of the 6th inning. Had runners on 2nd and 3rd. Where the Scouts is, we're going to get a substitution, it looks like. Not sure. What isn't a hitting substitution, I don't believe. So maybe a fielding substitution as Chad Harper steps in, sees his first pitch for a strike. Harper today 1 for 3, had an RBI single in the 2nd, pop up in the 4th, and grounded into a fielder's choice in the 5th inning. Settlers trail this one by 2. They were down 11-2 at one point, have rallied back the last 2 innings, scored 7 runs. So that pitch fouled back off to the right side, and Harper finds himself in a hole here 0-2. So we'll try to figure out what substitutions were made here in just a second. We'll pull it up online and see if we can make sense of this. That pitch taken outside for a ball. Looks like Zach Bacon has come into the game. He's over at second base. So Tuttle moved over into left as that pitch taken for a ball, evens the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tuttle moved over to left. Boylson's now at first. So that means Lindsay is out as Harper fouls that pitch straight back and keeps himself alive. So Bacon will be hitting in the number 6 spot for Lindsay if his spot comes up here in this next inning. Harper in a battle here, 2-2. First pitch hit him as Harper will reach once again. So another hit by pitch.
Number 10,
That, I believe,
Solzowski.
is the 4th hit by pitch given up by these Scout pitchers. So kind of uncharacteristic from these pitchers, not able to control that ball quite enough, as Licking County once again has the leadoff hitter aboard. They've had the leadoff hitter aboard maybe maybe just the last inning. So that first pitch misses to Sobozic. So Harper on first, Sobozic at the dish. Sobozic hitless today, reached on an error in his last at-bat, and later came around and scores that pitch in the dirt once again. We've seen Verberge struggle with his control. He had a tough time last inning, giving up 2 walks. Only let up 1 run, however, but hit Harper here. And now finds himself down on the count, 3 balls and no strikes to Sobozic. So we have to assume Sobozic would be taking here 3-0. He squares the bunt. He does take and takes for his strike. So Verberge finally finds the strike zone, and the count now is 3-1 to left-handed hitting shortstop. Harper gets his lead from first. 3-1 delivery. Flared into left field. It'll be a fairly easy play for Tuttle out there as he settles under it and retires Sobozic on the flyout. That'll bring up the top of the order.
Number 6.
And really, the most dangerous hitters for the Settlers. Dylan Ott going to step in, still looking for his first hit. Only 1 game this year where he hasn't recorded a hit. He's reached twice via the error and once via the hit by pitch. He's also scored 3 times, so if he can reach base, good sign for the Settlers here. They're chasing 2. That pitch misses low for a ball. Looked like Verberge might have changed his arm slot there. Went from like the sidearm 3/4. So he checks on Harper over at first and delivers. That pitch looped into right field. Going to be a tough play for the first baseman in Boylston, but he's not going to be able to make it, and that ball will get foul. So 1 ball, 1 strike to the University of Wisconsin Oshkosh Titan. He leads the Great Lakes League in batting average as of right now. Hitting .500 this year is Dylan. He's got 14 hits on the year. Looking to make it another one. As that ball grounded to third. Going to eat up the third baseman in Darnell. He'll make the throw over to first base. Not in time. So for the 3rd time today, Dylan Ott will reach first base on an error by Darnell at third base. It's something you don't really see a lot. You maybe see the guy reach base on a few errors, but not 3 times by the same fielder. Just crazy little baseball things you see once in a while. So that'll bring up one of the other hottest hitters for this Settler roster, Sam Wilson. Sam had an RBI single in his last at-bat, so his hitting streak continues. He's 1 for 3 today, scored twice, also walked in the 5th. First pitch from Verberge taken on that outside corner for a strike. Wilson finds himself in a big spot once again. Had that RBI single with 2 runners aboard in the 6th inning. Again, has 2 runners aboard. Harper at second, Ott at first. Delivery taken high and inside for a ball. Verberge trying to come back with that breaking pitch, but not able to get it over the zone as the count moves to 1 ball and 1 strike. The 1-1. Checked his swing. Yes, he did. Well, yes, he did not go around, I suppose, as the count goes to 2 balls and 1 strike. So good job by Wilson. Able to hold his swing there. Wilson has 4 RBIs in the last 3 games, looking for number 5. So Harper gets his lead from second. Delivery. Chopped down the third baseline, but just foul. And that'll even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes to the right-handed hitting Wilson. Settlers found themselves down 11-2 after the 5th inning. After the 4th inning. But 7 runs in the 5th and the 6th, and they're right back in it. They look to chip away once again here. The 2-2 hit to the left side. It'll get through. Harper going to be held at third base by Coach Howell, and the bases are loaded here with only one away. A one-out single from Sam Wilson, and he's got 2 hits in his last 2 ABs. That ball getting through that left side past the diving Darnell. And there is action in the scout pen. Once again, it looks like we're going to get a mound visit, a very slow walk. Probably trying to stall for his reliever out there. We can't quite tell who that is warming up right now, but the meeting between the fielders has concluded. I don't think they noticed the manager making his walk out towards the mound. This Xenia pitching staff near the bottom in most categories. Worst ERA right near 9, and they've given up 9 here in this game. They had baffled the Settler hitters really through 4 innings. Either had it going on. Settlers entering the 5th had only 1 hit, 2 runs, only left 3 guys on base, so nobody really getting on base at all as this meeting's going to conclude. No pitching change just yet. But over the last couple innings, Settlers have 7 runs on 5 hits. They have been the beneficiary of 6 scout errors as well, so 5 errors for the Settlers just another couple nights ago, and they've been on the receiving end of 6 here tonight. So that'll bring up Miguel Pimentel. He's got 1 hit today. So he takes that first pitch, curveball, for a strike. Pimentel was hit by a pitch in the 5th, came around to score, and had an RBI single in the 6th inning. He's got a chance for another one. It's time called by Pimentel. He wipes his brow. Muggy evening here, starting to cool off a little bit. It was hot and humid to start this game as dusk falls on Grady's Field. 1. Popped straight up in the air. The catcher, Regan, looked like he couldn't find it, so it'll be the pitcher, Verberge, that makes the play. Wasn't sure if that was going to be called an infield fly. Thought it might go foul as Regan couldn't find it as soon as he took off his mask, but nonetheless, it will be a pop up to the pitcher, and that'll bring up Garrett Roberts. Roberts has 2 RBIs today. He had a 2 RBI single in the 5th, came around to score, and walked in the 6th inning. So he's got 3 RBIs. Could get 2 here if he can get a single. That pitch hit him on the elbow. Hands go up from Verberge as he shakes his head, thinking Roberts maybe leaned into that one. But the home plate umpire says no, and that'll bring in Chad Harper to score. And the Settlers are down by 1. 11-10 here in the top of the 7th inning. Verberge trying to come inside, but just got a piece of that elbow guard by Roberts. And that'll bring up Turner Hill as Turner fouls back the first pitch he sees. Turner has 1 hit today. He had a single in the 5th. He walked in the 6th. Also has 2 ground outs, so he's 1 for 3. Finds himself in another big spot. Chance to tie this game, possibly give the Settlers a lead as he swings through that pitch. No balls and 2 strikes. Bases are loaded. Ott on 3rd, Wilson on 2nd, Roberts on 1st. Settlers trail by 1. They've scored 8 runs over the last 3 innings to put themselves within striking distance here. The 0-2. Flared into center field. Noah Orlando, the shortstop, goes back, and he will make the catch. So the Settlers leave the bases loaded, but they score a run. It's time to stretch. Settlers down by 1.
Fans, you know what time it is. Please stand, stretch, and join our press box crew, including pitcher Will Wentz in singing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game." Take me out to the ball game. Take me out to the crowd. Buy me some peanuts and Cracker Jacks. I don't care if we never get back for it's root for the Scouts. If they
It'll be 3-4-5 coming to bat for the Scouts in the bottom of the 7th inning. And if you're just joining us, Settlers got out to a 1-0 lead and then looked as if it would be all over after getting down 11-2. We now find ourselves in the bottom of the 11th, 11-10. The Settlers have scored 8 runs over the last 3 innings to put themselves right back in this ball game. Settlers have 10 runs on 7 hits, no errors. Scouts 11 runs on 13 hits, 6 errors. As Cannon Duke is on the bump once again. First pitch swinging from Ryan Bertelsmann. The designated hitter was fouled down the third base line, so Duke ahead in the count. No balls and 1 strike is Ott. Grabs that ball as it ricocheted off one of the walls down that left field side in foul territory. Came back onto the field of play. And we're ready to go. 0-1. Taken for a strike. Good breaking pitch from Duke. No balls and 2 strikes. Bertelsmann today is 1 for 4, has a pair of strikeouts and an RBI single in the 2nd inning, and a run scored as that pitch flared out to shallow right field. Second baseman Wilson will settle under it and retire Bertelsmann. So 3 pitches is all Duke needs to get Bertelsmann for the first out of the bottom of the 7th. Bringing up the catcher, Connor Regan. Regan today is 2 for 3. He walked and scored a run in the 2nd. RBI single also in the 2nd. He was part of that 8-run 2nd inning where the Scouts sent 15 hitters to the plate and had a double in the 4th. First pitch taken for a strike, so Duke 4 pitches, 4 strikes. As he relieved Spencer Berg. Berg went 4 2/3, gave up 4 runs, 3 earned, 6 hits, 4 strikeouts, 2 walks. As that pitch shot to the right side, it looks like it'll get foul. It will. As Turner Hill gave chase, but slicing towards out of play was that baseball. So Cannon ahead. No balls and 2 strikes. Berg really only had the 1 blemish in that 4th inning. Gave up 3 runs, but really shut the door the rest of the way. Put up a few zeros, 3 zeros to be exact. As Duke finds himself in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. That pitch taken just misses low and outside for a ball, so 1 ball and 2 strikes to the cleanup hitter Regan. Duke, the 3rd pitcher this game for the Settlers. That pitch swing and a miss on the breaking pitch. Duke with his 2nd strikeout today, and 2 up, 2 down here in the bottom of the 7th inning. Left fielder Luke Boylson will step into the right-handed batter's box now. Boylson has 2 hits today, had a double in the 2nd, as well as a single. All in that same inning as his first pitch just misses the outside corner for a ball. 2 hits, scored a run, has a strikeout and a ground out. Does Boylson. The 1-0. Taken low for a ball. So Cannon behind. The count 2 balls and no strikes. So that pitch just misses the outside corner as Harper tried to frame that one. Looks like he's going to call time. I don't know if he maybe got crossed up on a sign there or just trying to settle Duke down here. Duke rolled through the first 2 hitters. Got Bertelsmann on a pop out on 3 straight pitches. And then Regan struck out on a 1-2 breaking ball. So Boylson gets ahead in the count, 3 balls and no strikes. The 3-0. Misses the outside and missed by Harper. So Boylson works himself a 2-out walk.
Number 20, Zach Bacon.
So that'll bring up Zach Bacon. As we said, we thought he made a substitution during that last inning, so Bacon will get his first at bat today. He replaced Jarrett Lindsay as Cannon checks over the runner at first base. Bacon comes into this one hitting under 100. He's batting .063. So it should be a good sign as time is called by Bacon. Duke taking a little bit longer on that one. Bacon only has one hit on this season as well. Checks on the runner once again. Close play. Swipe tag by Roberts. Not in time. Bacon from Seminole, Florida. Goes to Glenville State College. First pitch to him misses outside for a ball. Glenville State in West Virginia. He's actually played West Liberty twice this year, so the catcher for the Settlers is Chad Harper, who plays at West Liberty, so he's probably seen Bacon, as Bacon started 34 games for the Pioneers. That pitch taken for a strike, and even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. So hopefully Harper can use that knowledge from those 2 games. The 2 teams split in those 2 games. So Bacon hit 200 on the year. The 1-1. Taken for a strike. Good breaking ball from Duke as he gets the head in the count. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Luke Boylston over on first base with the walk. 2 outs. Here in the bottom of the 7th, Settlers trail by 1. One-two. Fouled off to the right side. Going to get over that first base dugout. We'll do the 1-2 once again. It's Duke looking to shut the door here in this 7th inning and get his guys back in the dugout and a chance to tie this ball game. Settlers were down 11-2 at one point, now down by 1. The 1-2. Misses outside for a ball. Going to even the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Duke wanted to be middle relief. They'd been using him kind of as a stopper closer role, and he said he wanted to get some more work in the middle innings. So this is a spot he wanted to be in as he checks on the runner Boylston once again. He finds himself in a 1-run ball game, 1 runner on and 2 away. The 2-2. In the dirt, good block by Harper. Runner Boylston came off of first base, throw over there, got him! Good job by Chad Harper to block that pitch. And Boylston came off of first base a little too far as he thought about advancing, and Harper guns him down at first. So the Settlers get out of the 7th inning. They trail by 1.
Now pitching for the Xenia Scouts, number 34, Sam Drayle. Number 17, Alas.
Pitching change coming for the Scouts here in the top of the 8th inning. It'll be Sam Drayle. Drayle from Rosamond, California, goes to Cairn University. That pitch by Ellis lifted into left center, but the center fielder Chambers will settle under it. So a deep out number 1 by Ellis as he flies out to center field to start off this 8th inning. Final line on Verberge. He went 2 innings, gave up 1 run. It was not earned. 1 hit, no strikeouts, 2 walks, and 2 hit by pitches.
Number 36, Dill.
Excuse me, Verberge actually gave up 4 runs. So 4 runs, 3. Trying to get it all off of online, but having issues today, it looks like, as that first pitch to Dill is taken for a strike. Dill today has 1 hit. It was a 2 RBI single in the 5th inning. He's 1 for 3 today. Also reached on a hit by pitch. That pitch swung on and missed. Moves the count to no balls and 2 strikes. Settlers chasing 1 here. They were down as many as 9. But over the last 3 innings have put up an 8 spot and now find themselves right back in this ball game. 0-2. Swung on and missed. So 3 straight pitches to Dill. And Drayle gets the strikeout here with 2 away in the top of the 8th. That'll bring up the catcher, Chad Harper. Chad has reached twice today, had an RBI single in the 2nd inning. In the 7th inning, he was hit by a pitch and came around to score later on. So Harper trying to start a 2-out rally here in the 8th inning. First pitch, breaking ball, misses outside. Drayle comes into this one making his 6th appearance. He has an ERA of 9. He has 2 saves. That pitch fouled off to the right side. Drayle has really been a guy that can shut the door. He's only thrown, his max innings pitch is 2. He usually throws about 1 inning. Has those 2 saves, 6 innings pitch, 7 strikeouts, 6 walks, 8 hits. They lean on him heavily. It's 1-1. Swung on the line, right back up the middle, but coming on will be Chambers. That ball hung up there a little too long. Harper put a good charge into it, but Chambers was able Bottom of the 8th here from Grady's Field in Xenia, Ohio. Duke back on the mound for the Settlers. Some scores around the league. Grand Lake Mariners beat the Irish Hill Leprechauns 15-3. Galilean Graders 3-1 over the South Ohio Copperheads. Copperheads' 2nd loss of the year. Cincinnati Steam leading the Southern Division is up 7-2 in the bottom of the 8th over the Hamilton Joes. Lake Erie and Lima were canceled, as well as Muskegon and Richmond also canceled. 11-10, Scouts lead here in the bottom of the 8th inning. Duke back on the mound to face the 6, 7, 8 hitters. It'll be Zach Bacon up once again as Boylston was picked off of first base by Chad Harper. So Bacon will continue to bat here as he takes first pitch. Strike from Duke. Duke shakes off Harper. And the 0-1 misses outside for a ball, evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Duke has come in and faced 7 hitters officially. As Bacon takes that one for a strike. Bacon obviously would have been the 8th hitter in that last inning, but he'll be the 8th hitter this inning. Only giving up 2 walks, 2 strikeouts as he has stifled the scout hitters so far. That pitch taken just outside for a ball that'll even count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Duke's trying to get his guys back in the dugout for one final attempt. That pitch misses low. That'll move the count to 3 balls and no strikes. Bacon, as we said, hitting .063. This year has struck out 10 times. Very susceptible to the strikeout. That pitch thought about swinging but checked it, and that'll be a lead-off walk here for the Scouts.
Number 15, Dugan Darnell.
Dugan Darnell will come to the plate now. Dugan is 2 for 2 today. Has 2 singles, 3 RBIs, 2 walks, and 2 runs scored. So he has filled up the stat sheet as Coach Poole makes the long walk to the mound, as this might be the end here for Cannon Duke, as he hands the ball over to Coach Poole, and we'll get a call to the bullpen. We'll have that name for you when we come back. Runner on first, Settlers trail by 1.
Now pitching number 24, Harmon.
Gray Harmon, the left-handed hurler from Xavier University, on the pitch now for the Settlers as he finds himself down by 1 with a runner on first base. Duke exits after throwing 2+ innings. He had 3 walks, 2 strikeouts, no hits, and he leaves that runner on first base. That'll bring up Dugan Darnell. Darnell, as we said, 2 for 2 today, 3 RBIs, 2 singles. So he looks to try to extend this 1-run lead that the Scouts are clinging to right now as he fouls off that first pitch from Harmon. Harmon has been very good. This will be his 3rd appearance. He's thrown 4 1/3 innings. 5 strikeouts, 6 walks, 2 hits, has an ERA just over 2, 2.07. So Coach Poole going with the lefty-lefty matchup in Harmon right here. So he checks on the runner over at first base. In Bacon. Scouts have stolen 2 2 bases today. Both men third base early on. Haven't attempted one since, but they're no stranger to going. They've stolen 22 on the season, right near 80%. So that pitch catches the outside corner. Good pitch from Harmon with the fastball to paint that outside corner, and he finds himself ahead in the count. No balls and 2 strikes. Settlers were once down 11-2. It really looked like this was going to be a blowout after the 4th inning, but able to keep chipping away as Harmon checks on the runner Bacon once again. Settlers were able to put up a 4 spot in the 5th, a 3 spot in the 6th, and add on 1 in the 7th. A grand total of 8 runs in 3 innings. Scouts had an 8-run second inning, and that's really been the difference so far. The 0-2 to Darnell. Swung on and missed. Strike 3. 3 straight pitches from Harmon come out of the pen, and he has a strikeout here in the bottom of the 8th inning.
Tuttle.
Second baseman Nicholas Tuttle to the batter's box now. Tuttle has a pair of singles, has an RBI, scored a pair of runs, a walk, and a strikeout. We said these scout hitters have really been filling up the stat sheet today. They have 13 hits. 11 runs on 13 hits, but the glaring number up there on that scoreboard, 6 errors by their fielders. That's led to a decent amount of runs by the Settlers, too. They have 10 runs on 7 hits. They've left a handful of runners on base. That pitch taken just misses for a ball. Scouts have left 10 runners aboard in this one. Settlers have left 11, including a pair of innings with the bases loaded. Had that big double play a couple innings ago. Settlers bases loaded, 1 out. Put a line out into a double play as that pitch going to go over for a strike. One's Harmon, and he evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. 1 out. Here in the bottom of the 8th, 1 runner aboard in a 1-run ball game. Settlers looking for their 3rd win of the season. That pitch grounded to second base to Wilson. Could be 2. Flip 2. So Bozic over to first. Not in time. So good speed by Tuttle to beat out that second play, but give him a force out on the 4-6 on Bacon. And Tuttle reaches first base on the fielder's choice. The number 9 hitter and shortstop Noah Orlando will come to the dish now. Orlando has a pair of hits as well. 2 RBIs. Reached on a fielder's choice. He has been on base 3 out of his 4 plate appearances. He steps in with 2 outs. Orlando from Savannah, Georgia. His first pitch from Harmon just misses outside for a ball. Harmon trying to get his guys back in that dugout for the top of the 9th. The lefty from Xavier comes set. Checks on the runner. And Bacon one more time over there at first base. Excuse me, that's Tuttle now. Harmon trying to keep that running game at bay. Scouts always looking to steal an extra bag. They've stolen 3rd twice today off a no throw by Chad Harper. So they've gotten pretty good jumps. They know how to try to take an extra base if the opportunity presents itself. 1-0. Misses high. Count now moves to 2 balls and no strikes. If Orlando is able to do anything here, that'll bring up the top of the order for the Scouts and Carson Wright. Harmon gets his sign and comes set. He checks on Tuttle over at first base. Good pick by Roberts over there, but not in time once again. 2 balls, no strikes to the right-handed hitting shortstop. Harmon comes set, takes a breath, and fires. Just misses that outside corner once again, so 3 straight balls from Harmon as Orlando looking for a walk today and to reach base for his 4th time. Scouts average just over 4 walks per game, and they've just about doubled that. There is another ball 4. As Orlando will head down to first, Tuttle will move into second, 2 away,
Number 12, Carson Wright.
as that will be the 9th walk conceded by this Settler pitching staff. We talked about how they walked 11 the other day, and 7 of those came around to score, so the Settler pitching staff has been struggling with control as of late on the year there, giving up about 7 walks per game, so this is actually just a little bit over their average. That'll bring the leadoff hitter Carson Wright to the plate. Carson has 1 hit today. He's 1 for 4, an RBI, and a run scored. Had that single in the second inning. That's about the only damage he has done as his first pitch from Harmon in the dirt. Good block by Harper to keep that one in front of him. Carson was also hit by a pitch. Going back to Chad Harper, the catcher. He'd had some struggles last game with some pass balls. Had, I would venture to guess, 3 or 4 pass balls just kind of glancing off the glove. Was struggling to receive the ball, but has not conceded one today. So that pitch misses low. Ball number 2, so that'll be 6 consecutive balls by Harmon after he retired the first 2 hitters on 6 pitches. So Harper going to go out there and try to calm his lefty down. It's a lefty-lefty matchup once again. Last lefty that came to the plate was Dugan Darnell. He struck out. So Harmon trying to hold this at a 1-run deficit for the Settlers. The 2-0. Taking for a strike. Harmon finding the strike zone once again. You had to imagine Wright was taking all the way there as they're just trying to squeak out one more run in any way that they can. Scouts have been held scoreless the past 4 innings, clinging to a 1-run lead at this moment. The 2-1. Misses in the dirt. Good block by Harper. Throw down to second. So Bozic with the pick, but not in time. But that'll move the count to 3 balls and 1 strike to leadoff hitter Wright. Harmon in danger of walking his 2nd consecutive hitter as he takes a very long and deep breath there behind the pitcher's mound. Scouts with 2 runners aboard. Tuttle at second, Orlando at first. Looking for some insurance here in the bottom of the 8th inning. A 3-1. Swung on, ground to do the right side, but foul. As Wright was trying to squeak that one by Kieran Roberts. Just a bit early on it, as that'll move the count to full. Runners will get a head start here. 3-2, 2 outs, 1-run game in the bottom of the 8th inning. Settlers desperately trying to get back into the dugout. That pitch taken for a ball. Just missing was Harmon, and now back-to-back walks will load the bases here for the Scouts in the bottom of the 8th inning. Center fielder Chandler Chambers will head to the dish now. Chambers has 1 hit. It was a 2 RBI single in the 2nd inning. He would come around to score the only time he scored. He also has a walk and 2 strikeouts. So 1 for 4 day from the center fielder from Knoxville, Tennessee. Settlers would love to see that go to 1 for 5. First pitch from Harmon. Catches that outside zone as Chambers looks back at the umpire. Maybe extending that zone just a little bit. But Harmon will take it. He finds himself back ahead in the count after walking the last 2 hitters in Orlando and Wright. Harmon going from the windup. Runner breaks home. Going to be a tag at the plate. Safe, says the home plate umpire, as the runner in Tuttle steals home Harmon, the lefty, did not see him. Tuttle broke as Harper confuses. He thought he got Tuttle out. So a huge run scored by the Scouts. That is their first run in 4 innings, and that's a big one, as they now lead 12-10 here in the bottom of the 8th inning. The other 2 runners in Orlando and Wright do move up 90 feet as well, so runners on second and third here with 2 outs. Swing and a miss. That'll be strike number 3 as that pitch. The pitch before was a strike, but not before Nick Tuttle steals home and puts his Scouts up 2. Last chance for Licking County coming up in the 9th. They trail by 2. Last chance for the Settlers here in the 9th inning. They'll send Sobozic, Ott, and Wilson to the plate here. Settlers find themselves down by 2. They looked as if they might get out of that 8th inning, only being down by 1, but the stolen base from Tuttle stealing home put the Scouts up by 2. It'll be Drayle back on the mound for the Scouts. His first pitch low and in the dirt. 23 stolen bases on the day for the year, for the Scouts. 3 on the day as that pitch taken from Sobozic for a strike, and none bigger than that last one by Tuttle. Sobozic today still looking for his first hit. He's 0 for 4. That pitch taken low again. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Sobozic struggling this year, hitting below 150 as that pitch misses once again. So Sobozic finds himself up in the count, 3 balls and 1 strike. He was one of the best hitters for his Monroe Community College team. He's also tied for the lead in stolen bases, so if he can get on, and he will. So a leadoff walk here for the Settlers. We'll start this 9th inning, and these are exactly the hitters you want coming to the plate if you are the Settlers. It'll be Dylan Ott, Sam Wilson, and Miguel Pimentel, the next 3 hitters. Ott is hitless today. He's been on base 4 times, however, 3 via the air, 1 via the hit by pitch. He's also scored 3 times. So the best hitter for the Settlers at the plate right now in the biggest spot. First pitch taken low for a ball. So Drayle struggling to find the strike zone here in this 9th inning. Ott leading the league in batting average. He's hitting .500. Nearly a .600 on-base percentage. That pitch misses one more time. And nobody in the Scouts bullpen right now, so it looks like it'll be Drayle as of right now as we get a meeting on the mound by the catcher Regan trying to calm down his pitcher Sam Drayle. Sobozic over on first. He's got 4 stolen bases on the season, tied for the team lead. Settlers right around 90% in stolen bases. Haven't attempted one yet today. Not sure if you might put some guys in motion right here, but not with Drayle struggling to find the strike zone as he checks on Sobozic over at first. A toss over, if you will. Not really trying to pick him off, probably just trying to gather his thoughts and lock back in. Dylan Ott, 1 game this year without a hit. He started every single game for the Settlers. The 2-0. Taking Ott for a strike. Ott kind of flinched at it like he wanted to swing at it, but obviously realized he was up 2-1. Pitcher struggling, seeing if he can get one from the umpire. So 2-1 to Ott, Sobozic on first. Nobody out as he checks on Sobozic one more time. Again, a nice little lollipop throw over there to first base. Settlers trail by 2. They've been held scoreless in the 8th inning after scoring 8 runs over the previous 3. Their bats have gotten hot as of late, and they could use them right here, right now. 2-1 to Ott, swing and a miss. That's going to give the count at 2 balls and 2 strikes. So here, some of his teammates yelling, find a way. Find a way to get on, and let's get our middle of the order up here and try to do some damage in our last at-bat. Settlers 2-6 on the year, and a tie for last place in the Southern Division. So every win, every game is huge. Every win means even more. 2-2, taken low. Gonna push the count to full. 3 balls, 2 strikes to Dylan Ott. Drail checks on Sobozic again. None of his throws over have really been attempts over, just maybe a way he calms himself down, gets back in a rhythm, gives himself an extra breath as he comes set. The 3-2 to Ott. Misses high, back-to-back walks, and the Settlers are in business right now. They have runners on first and second base with nobody out, and stepping up to the plate, Sam Wilson. Wilson has 2 singles today in his last 2 at-bats. He's reached base 3 times, scored twice, has an RBI as well. Wilson coming into this one hitting right around 500. You'd assume that would be right around there after this one has concluded. So Wilson finds himself in a big spot. 2 aboard, no outs, team down by 2. Corners come in for the Scouts. Maybe looking for a bunt. Yes, Wilson squares around to bunt as he lays it right down in front. Good bunt by Wilson, picked up by the catcher Regan. He throws over to first in time. A great sacrifice bunt by Sam Wilson. Puts Sobozic at third and Ott on second. So tying run on second base. Good play by Regan, actually, the catcher, to come out of his stance. He hopped up real quick out of that stance and picked it up, spun, and fired a strike over to first base to Bacon, the second baseman, covering. So Miguel Pimentel comes up now. He's got 1 hit today. So he takes a curveball in the dirt for ball number 1. Pimentel 1 for 4, an RBI single in the 6th. He was hit by a pitch in the 5th and came around to score. Has a pair of pop-outs and a fly-out as well. No bigger spot than right now. Takes that one low for a ball. So Drail still struggling with control as his catcher Regan goes out to calm him down once again. Still no action in the Scout bullpen, so they're going with Drail here, whether he gets them out of it or lets up a few runs. Pimentel, one of the only returning Settlers to this team, from Santo Domingo in the Dominican Republic. In a big spot here, Drail going from the windup. The 2-0. Fouled straight back was Pimentel. He just missed that one. But he still finds himself ahead in the count. 2 balls and 1 strike. Sobozic on third, Ott on second. Drail going from the windup once again. The 2-1. Swung on and fouled right back was Pimentel. Looked like he just pulled that front shoulder out just a little bit. That'll even the count. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out, 2 runners aboard, down by 2. Infield playing back. They just want an out here. Garrett Roberts on deck. We have time from Pimentel as he wipes the sweat off his brow. Like we said, it's cooled down a little bit, but it's still a little muggy out here. Seen a couple bats go flying. 2-2. Hit right back up the middle. That'll get down for a base hit. Sobozic will score. Ott being waved around from third. He's going to slide in safely. And the Licking County Settlers have tied this game in the top of the 9th inning. Wow. Over the last 5 innings, the Settlers have put up 12 runs. They found themselves down 11-2 and are now tied here off the huge RBI single by Miguel Pimentel. And we have a whole new ball game here. Garrett Roberts stepping in now. Roberts has 1 hit. He's also walked and been hit by a pitch. First pitch, looping curveball from Drill. Finds the strike zone. Roberts has 3 RBIs today. A shot in the gap. Could score Pimentel over there at first. See, tried to check his swing. He did check his swing, says the home plate umpire. As that ball misses high. 1 ball and 1 strike. So back-to-back walks to lead off this inning. Come back to bite the Scouts. And the Settlers have tied this ball game up. Roberts swings through that one, trying to get Pimentel over at first, but he'll trot back in safely. Never a doubt over there. So 1-2 is the count now to Roberts. Single would be big here. Roberts has been pretty hot coming into this game. Was 5 for 8 with 3 RBIs. Added on 3 more RBIs today. 1-2, big looping curveball once again. Just misses the top of the zone as you see a grimace from Drail on the mound. He thought he might have just got the top. That was the first pitch he threw to Roberts that Roberts took for a strike. Trying to get him one more time there. So 2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. That ball hit down the right field line, but that's going to get out of play. So we'll do the 2-2 once again. Settlers with 2 runs this inning to tie this ball game in the top of the 9th. They obviously want 1 more so they can try to head to the bottom, shut down the Scouts, and head back to Newark. That pitch misses outside. 3 balls, 2 strikes. It's the second hitter this inning. Has worked the count full. Dylan Ott worked a walk, and he scored that tying run. It's 3-2. Taken strike 3. Roberts thought he had walked as he took his bat down the first base line with him, jumped up and down. But Drail able to catch the outside corner for out number 2. So that'll bring up the right fielder, Turner Hill. Turner has 1 hit today. He singled in the 5th. Also has a walk and 2 ground outs and a pop out. So Turner comes up to bat with 2 outs. Go ahead run on first. Taking low for a ball. So Settlers able to tie this one, but really got to think back to the bottom of the 8th inning when Nick Tuttle was able to steal home. So that pitch catches the outside corner for a strike. Settlers had 2 outs on the Scouts, and Tuttle was able to steal home to put this deficit at 2 coming into this inning. Had he not been able to steal home, Settlers would be up by 1 right now.
Number 31, Ryan Bertelsmann.
Tie ball game here in the bottom of the 9th inning. Score between the Licking County Settlers and the Xenia Scouts tied at 12. Licking County able to push 2 across in the top half of the 9th to tie this ball game up as the Scouts look to walk it off here. It'll be Gray Harmon back on the mound. First pitch to Ryan Bertelsmann, taking high for a ball. Bertelsmann today only 1 hit. He's 1 for 5. Has a pair of strikeouts, pop up an RBI single wherein he scored a run in that 8-run second inning. Second pitch from Harmon fouled off deep down the right side, but going to get out of play, so even the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. That 8-run inning, really the biggest blemish on that scoreboard out there for the Settlers. That good curveball just misses up. 2 balls and 1 strike. The Scouts have only scored in 3 innings. They have 12 runs in 3 innings. An 8-run in the second, 3 in the fourth, and 1 in the 8th. That pitch fouled off to the right side once again. And that 1 in the 8th was huge. Nicholas Tuttle able to steal home with 2 outs. The next hitter would eventually strike out. So that pitch flared into right, but that's going to get out of play as well, as Turner Hill gave chase, and Chad Harper goes out to talk to Gray Harmon. 2-2 count to Bertelsmann. Tuttle able to get a good read on the lefty in Harmon. Harmon obviously has his back to him at third base, and as soon as that leg went up, he took off. It was a close play at home. Harper, the catcher, thought he got him, but safe was the call by the home plate umpire. So the 2-2 now to Bertelsmann. Hit deep into left center. Alice will give chase, and he will settle under it. The nice running catch by Brendan Alice. Went to the deepest part of the ballpark. The fence kind of converges outwards in that left center gap. There's no numbers to tell us how many feet the fence is from home plate, but that left center gap definitely the deepest part of the ballpark. So a long out number 1. That'll bring up the catcher in Connor Regan. Connor has 2 hits today. Scored 2 runs, an RBI, single, double, and a walk. That first pitch from Harmon misses outside. Most of these Xenia hitters have been filling up this score sheet. As you see, a lot of walks from the Settlers. What we've come to know is that's a broken bat hit to the right side. Wilson will field it and toss it over Roberts at first base for out number 2. So the 4-3 ground out will put the first 2 batters back to the bench. This left fielder Luke Boylson will dig into the right-handed batter's box. Boylson today has 2 hits also, single and a double. Scored a run, has a walk as well. Got picked off at first base by Chad Harper. Chad, good block in the dirt, was able to pick him off first base to end 8th innings. That pitch fouled back, the 7th inning. 4 strike 1, so 1 pitch. Harmon up on Boylson. He is 1 out away from sending this 2 extra innings. Swing and a miss by Boylson. No balls, 2 strikes. Evening is upon us. It is completely dark out here as we are over 3 hours. We are just approaching 3 hours and 20 minutes of game time. The 0-2 picked out of the dirt by Harper. So 1 ball and 2 strikes out of Boylson. From the windup is Harmon. 1-2, flared to the right side, but over that first base dugout, so Boylson will stay alive here. Harmon has 2 strikeouts already. Looking for his third is a lefty from Xavier University. Ball back in play, and Harmon from the windup. The 1-2. Swung on and chopped right back to Harmon. He's not going to have a play, so Wilson will have a tough play. Throws over to first. Sliding in is Boylston, but got him. And we're back underway. It'll be Trail back on the mound for the Scouts as his first pitch is going to be taken for a strike by Brendan Ellis. Ellis with a great running catch in the bottom half of that ninth inning to deep left center. So he swings on and misses for strike number 2. It was Austin White that started the game in center, but Ellis came in the 6th inning. He's 0 for 2 thus far, has a pop up to first and a fly out to center. He's down the count to Drill, no balls and 2 strikes. That pitch, broken bat, up towards short. Orlando's going to field it and fire to first, but off the bag is pulling the first baseman in Boylston. So that'll be error number 3 on the day for Orlando. And the Settlers have their leadoff runner aboard. That will be 7 team errors for the Scouts. So if you're a Settlers fan, you look up and see that 8 spot in the second inning by the Scouts and kind of shake your head. If you're a Scouts fan, you look up and see the 7 in the error spot, and you probably shake your head just as hard. So I'm going to bring up Nathan Dill, the designated hitter, to the plate. Dill has a hit today. It was a 2 RBI single in the 5th inning. He also has a hit by pitch, and he reached on an error by Orlando. So Dill's been on base 3 times. Last 2 times, a line out and a strikeout. So he's looking to get back on base, move this runner over. His runner goes in. Alice, he throws down to second in time as Alice is caught stealing at second base. So Settlers get their leadoff runner aboard, but 1 pitch in, and Alice is cut down at second base off the good throw by Connor Regan. Pitch was taken by Dill for a ball. The Settlers had done well tonight with getting their leadoff runners aboard and having them come on to score. So that pitch checked his swing, but did not matter as that was taken for a strike. 1 ball and 1 strike now to Alice. Settlers, when they get their leadoff runner aboard, they had scored 4 times. They're 4 for 4 when getting their leadoff runner aboard, so that'll be the first time they do not. As Alice fouls out 1 straight back. Count goes to 1 ball and 2 strikes. The 1-2 from Drayle. Swung on and missed by Dill. He goes down swinging for the 2nd consecutive at-bat. And what appeared to be a promising start to this inning now looks bleak as there are 2 away with nobody on. And Chad Harper comes up to the plate now. Harper
Number 8, Harper.
is 1 for 4 today. Had an RBI single in the second. Part of a 2-out rally by the Settlers. Austin White reached on an error. Dill was hit by a pitch, and Harper singled in White for the first run of the game. First pitch from Drill, grounded to the third baseman in Darnell. He fires over to first base and received by the first baseman, Boylston. So the Settlers are retired here in the top of the 10th. We head to the bottom half. Score still tied at 12.
Now pitching number 35, Barry.
Pitching change here for the Settlers will be
Number
Alec
20,
Berry
Zach Bacon.
on the mound. The will be senior from Elmhurst College, relieving Gray Harmon. So close the book on Harmon. He went 2 innings, gave up 1 run. It was not earned. 2 strikeouts, 2 walks for the Xavier lefty. So Berry will be on to face the 6, 7, and 8 hitters. It'll be Zach Bacon leading it off. Bacon only has 1 at-bat today, and he walked. First pitch from Barry, swung out and missed, so good start for the senior. This will be Barry's 3rd inning of work on the season for the Settlers. Thrown 2 innings, has not given up a run as that pitch goes in for a strike. So very quickly, Barry up in the count, no balls and 2 strikes. 0-2, grounded to the right side. It's going to be Wilson on the run. Will make the throw over to Roberts, and the 4-3 ground out on 3 pitches starts off the bottom of the 10th
Number
inning.
17, Luke Boylson. Correction, number 15, Dugan Darnell.
Got me a little bit too when they said Luke Boylson. That's Dugan Darnell. Had to look up and down very quickly. Dugan Darnell comes in to this at-bat, this being his 6th plate appearance. He has 2 walks, 2 singles, 3 RBIs, and a strikeout. Going back to Alex Berry, though, this will be his 3rd game he's appeared in. We said 2 innings, 1 strikeout, 3 hits as that pitch gets by Harper for a ball. Has not given up an earned run yet. Has 1 run he gave up, but it was unearned. So Berry looking to get through this bottom of the inning and get his guys back in the dugout for a chance to put a go-ahead run. That pitch swung on and missed. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Berry stands on that mound, 6'1", 220 pounds. So big presence out there on the mound. That pitch just misses the inner half. 2 balls and 1 strike now. Berry, not a bad jump shot either. We saw him at the rec center the other day, played a little basketball and caught fire a few times. So a good 2-sport athlete. The 2-1 swung and missed. 2 balls and 2 strikes. The 7th hitter, Darnell. Darnell going to his senior season as well at Adrian College. He's from Northville, Michigan. Hitting .319 in his career, so a good hitter for the Bulldogs. That curveball just misses the outside. Going to move the count to full. 3 balls and 2 strikes, 1 out. Bottom of the 10th. Settlers used 2 runs in the top of the 9th to tie this one up, and that is where we stand right now. 3-2. Misses inside for ball 4. So a 1-out walk now for the Scouts. Puts a winning run on first base. That'll bring up Nick Tuttle to the plate. Tuttle has 2 hits. A walk. He's scored 3 times, but none bigger than the last time he was on base and he scored. He stole home with 2 outs for the 12th run of the game in the bottom of the 8th inning. Gray Harmon was on. Lefty, of course, had his back to him and was able to steal home to put this lead 2-2 for the Scouts going to the top of the 9th. A pitch taken for a ball. Had Tuttle not been able to steal home, you would assume if the score holds as it is, Settlers put across 2 and then a 0, and they would probably be on their way back to Newark with a win. As he smacks that one into left field, so a 1-out single by Tuttle puts 2 aboard here in the bottom of the 10th. Darnell moves over to second. He is the winning run, as Tuttle has his 3rd hit of the game, all singles. Noah Orlando, the 9th hitter, comes up to bat now. He's got 2 hits today, 2 RBIs, single, double, walk. He also has stolen a base. A good tidbit to note. Scouts have stolen third base twice today. They have 23 stolen bases on the year. They're stealing about 80% rate. Of course, that one was the steal of home by Tuttle. So Barry, make sure to check on the runner over there. As that pitch taken for a strike is Orlando. Both those steals of third base. There was no throw from Harper. Never had a play on it. So this might be another opportunity as time is called. Both times right-handed hitters up. This makes it a tougher throw for Harper. So he has to maneuver his way around the hitter. Pitch just misses for a ball. Evens the count at 1 ball and 1 strike. Settlers scored 1 in the 2nd, 1 in the 3rd, 4 in the 5th, 3 in the 6th, 1 in the 7th, and 2 in the 9th. Tie this game up as that pitch misses once again for a ball. So 2 balls and 1 strike. Scouts, on the other hand, 8 in the 2nd, 3 in the 4th, and 1 in the 8th. 3 innings. They've put runs across the board and still able to get 12 of them. 2-1. Misses once again for a ball. 3 balls and 1 strike. Barry in danger of walking Orlando to load the bases and put that game-winning run 90 feet away as Harper goes out to calm his pitcher down. Settlers, 12 runs on 8 hits, no errors. Scouts, 12 runs on 14 hits with 7 errors. So both teams have probably a spot on that scoreboard they would like to change. That pitch misses outside. Ball 4 as Barry shakes his head in disbelief. Thought he was going to get that one, as Orlando even thought that might be called a strike. So bases loaded here in the bottom of the 10th inning. Game-winning run 90 feet away for the Scouts. And that brings up Carson right to the plate. Carson is 1 for 4 today. Had an RBI single in the 2nd. He was hit by a pitch in the 4th and walked in the 8th. Infield comes in now for the Settlers. Middle's coming in as well. They're not going to try for a double play. They're going to try to cut this runner down at home plate as that pitch to right, misses for a ball. Nowhere to put Carson right here. Bases are loaded. Darnell at third, Tuttle at second, Orlando at first as that pitch fouled down that first base line. Outfielders also coming in. They realize anything over their head would very well be a sacrifice fly, so they're going to try to cut down any kind of flares or bloopers from the scout team. The 1-1. Misses inside. It looks like he hit. Yep, he did. He hit Carson right. They appealed to the first base umpire to see if he swung around. And Wright touches first base, and Darnell comes around to score on the walk-off hit by pitch. Probably the most painful walk-off that Wright has ever been a part of. So the Settlers come back from being down 11-2. They tie it in the top of the ninth with 2 runs at 12, only to fall here in the bottom of the 10th inning on a walk-off hit by pitch. Barry will get the loss in this one, but the Settlers, great job battling it out and trying to stay alive in this one, chipping away. They scored in just about every inning, it seems like. They scored. The other innings they didn't score in were the first, the fourth, the 8th, and the 10th. So 4 zeros up there on the board. Come back to bite them, as well as 8 runs given up in the second inning by the Settler pitching staff. So we'll be back in action tomorrow night as these 2 teams will face off once again back at home at Don Edwards Stadium. For those of you local fans wanting to come out and catch some Licking County Settlers baseball, first pitch is